mic on?
Yeah. Guess what, Keith?
What's up, man?
It's 8 p.m.
Ish.
It's Tuesday. It's time for pop.
I like it.
I'm just sending Sarah a little communication. If you notice, Sarah's not here.
She isn't?
That's not Sarah. That's just a couch.
Oh,
That's the stream deck.
different.
I sent her a little email.
Inappropriate.
Your pot pie is glorious.
Yes,
She made us a little pot pie action.
Well,
and
it
was
she knew we weren't going to be here by
glorious.
ourselves, and it would have just been like Oreos and some crackers.
I was bringing up, yeah. In fact, that's the name of my new web series, Oreos and Crackers. I'm not going to tell you what the subject is, so you don't want to know. Already, we're off to a rolling start of that Sarah would not approve of.
Probably not, but she's not here. That's what she gets for not
leaving.
here. So, Matthew, how have you been, man?
Let's get dirt. Oh no, okay.
Yeah.
Let's start cursing.
No.
Poop, poop,
Nope.
poop. Butts,
Language.
butts. Up. Shut down with the language filter. Yeah. How have I been?
Yeah. It's been
Awesome.
2 weeks. I haven't seen you.
2 weeks. It's true. I woke up this morning and I was trying to I was at the travel place where the spaceships are.
Okay.
And the woman in front of me
Okay.
became a giant Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know where I'm going. Total Recall reference.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Sometimes you just gotta abort when you realize that like
The joke isn't working.
nothing is working and you can't make the reference right. And
You know what-
sometimes
you
you
know
just
what-
gotta
you know
yell
what-
2 weeks.
You know it is working just for you, Matt.
What's that? Ooh, that makes me happy.
Good.
Yeah. So instead of saying get your ass tomorrow, somebody said get your ass to popped. Nope, still not working. I don't know.
This is what
Sometimes
this is
pop
what happens
culture
when you miss a
references-
week. You miss a week
What
and you're
a week
off, man.
it's been.
Oh, there's Sarah.
Well, last week I was exhausted, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It was I was just coming off. I delivered a big project. I had a big project to work.
Yeah.
Worked to put a lot of hours in it. I got
But
kudos.
project done.
Project done. And I got it done Tuesday, and I went home about 11 o'clock, and I was like, I ain't coming back over.
I don't blame you.
I will watch you guys. So I watched. It's a different experience watching Popped. It's fun watching Popped.
You don't say.
It's fun doing Popped also.
It is.
But you know what? It's also really fun watching Popped and interacting. So that's your cue, people, to make sure that you're not just watching us. You're also interacting. We want to know what you think about what we're talking about. You know, what you think about the topic coming up. I think we're talking about the Star Wars trailer because that's what everybody's talking about. So, get your comments ready and loaded because we want to know what you guys think. And
Yes.
if you would do us a favor, if you like Popped and you want to see Pop get better and bigger and better and bigger, then take a look at the share button. Click the share button, share us out, tell us all your friends. This is the best show on pop culture around on Facebook, on YouTube that you're going to find. And we care about what you think.
We do. And
And
we want
say.
you guys to interact.
Okay, there you go. That was my big spiel.
Well, I'm going to add on to that because not only, you mentioned the YouTube, so I'll add that on there because we're not fancy enough yet to have a...
Yes, if you would, if you feel in your hearts that that we're good enough to get your subscription, go over to YouTube on the link that's in our comments and click subscribe because we're trying to get our subscriber numbers up and off and hit 100 so that we can actually say go to youtube.com/pop show and we don't have to say
We'll get there.
go to youtube.com/WC
Channel
F channel equals exclamation point
UCDACMWQK_XCUXWGBSXIA.
Yeah. Go there and give us a subscription. Just click the link.
Yeah, we've got a few subscriptions, and that's where we've actually got a bunch of our videos.
Well, we're actually doing a video tomorrow, so
Yes,
we'll have
we
a
are.
video up. We're gonna probably debut it next week.
Yeah, I think so. We should be
debut it
going
on the
out
show
to-
next week, and
It's be Halloween themed.
yep, you're not gonna just get one video from us a week where we're talking about the actual show. You're gonna get some supplemental videos.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
When life allows.
Life is going to allow, or I'm going to lose my mind and it's going to allow anyway.
Well, you like doing the videos. I
love
in the
doing
videos.
You like being in the videos. Sarah resists being in the videos, but
she likes it too.
Sometimes she does it.
She does. She likes it.
She likes it. So I guess the big question is, what have you been doing on pop culture? Well, I haven't caught up with you. I have no idea. We never talk outside the show.
Nope. This is it. This is the only time we hang out.
Only time.
Other than that, we do not talk at all. There is no show prep. There is nothing. Well, actually, before I get into pop culture, this is partially what I've been doing over the past few weeks.
That's right.
I need to update it some more here, but I have been doing, let me see here, pasting in the comments now. I have been putting in some podcast form because I'm not satisfied with just video.
Yes. iTunes coming soon.
iTunes has been submitted.
So we're just waiting for the old approval.
Yep. So hopefully we should be getting that soon. And
listen to some podcasts. Because, not everybody can listen to us live. Not everybody can watch us. But, a lot of people...
We'll do it live!
We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
Way to peak. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I submitted us to iTunes.
Peaked in middle school.
Google Play should be next. And I need to get a few more episodes up there. I'm going through editing things, but all of August shows are up there.
Cool. Go back and listen to some shows that are out of date.
Well, they're not out of date.
That's not the great sell.
No,
that's not a great sell. That's not a great sell.
No. If you haven't caught up, if this is the first time you're listening. And actually, that reminds me, I forgot to actually start recording tonight, so I got to do some fancy audio engineering to get tonight's episode recorded, but I'll figure it out.
Click the download button on YouTube.
Shh. I want people to know my tricks. But anyways.
A fancy one.
Yes. But anyways, so we've got all of August's episodes. We got that summer movie remix, that game Sarah made up, where we kind of mashed things together, and you and I just kind of went off the deep end. We discussed trailers overall, the summer movie blockbuster trailer, because some of them were great. And the movies weren't great. Some of them were horrible, and the movies were awesome. So it didn't make any sense.
We really did. Now, I'd like to pull back the curtain a little bit on Popped. So apparently, episode 2? So from August 8th, we had an episode of trailer discussion. Swear to God, I pitched that this morning. We were doing show prep. I was like, well, let's do trailer discussions. And Keith's like, I think we did that.
Yeah, we did. This is why I know we did it. August 15th, we talked about the streaming service fatigue, all these apps. I just downloaded a new app for Apple TV again. And then the Narrow Video Kickstarter, actually, on August 29th when Miles was in here, and we were talking about that. I'll
be honest, I have to go back and watch and listen to these shows. I have no recollection of the month of August or most of September.
Well, now you can. I have posted the Podbean link in there. It's an easy app on your phone. It will also be up on iTunes eventually,
we'll let
and
you guys know when that happens.
Hopefully Google Play as well. So either way, you guys will have access to that stuff, and we'll be uploading old episodes because not everyone can watch Facebook Live. But we're happy when you do, because you guys can engage with us and let us know your thoughts live, interactive. But yeah, as far as what I've been doing in pop culture. The folks at home can't see it, but in between our cameras there is a little classic Super Nintendo.
What?
Yup.
That's what that is? I thought it was full of candy. I've been trying to break it open.
I'm glad you didn't break it open. There is candy inside in the form of 30 video games.
What? That's so many. I don't know why.
Really? I don't even have a drop for that. That's the sad
part. To be fair,
part.
It's 30 of the best Super Nintendo games.
I'd say so.
I got to tell you, I don't think we have this in news, but I was reading recently that if you're looking for one, I think GameStop and some other retailer, maybe where you get a good buy. Forget what the other one was.
Average buy.
Yeah, they're about to get another. They're getting, starting today, they're getting more shipments of it. The rumor is Nintendo's absolutely serious when they're talking about they do not want people buying these on the aftermarket. You just got to be patient, and you're going to get one. And they're going to sell them well into 2018 too. So I think they know that. I think they learned with the Nintendo Classic, which there wasn't much on the Nintendo Classic that I was into.
I like.
I guess because I was at being like that age when the Nintendo came out.
Yeah.
Like 10, 12. I played those games a lot.
So did I.
So it was one of those things where it was like, I don't want to go back and play. I also just don't want to go back and play Balloon Fight. But I don't
know if I'm in the mood for Excite Bike. I can't speak tonight.
Yeah, but did you go back and play Excite Bike?
I actually have. If I'm in the mood for anything on the Nintendo Classic, Excite Bike and Donkey Kong. just because I can, man.
I see. The Donkey Kong's gonna drive me nuts.
Why?
Because that Donkey Kong port doesn't have one of the levels.
Which
it doesn't
level
have it doesn't have the cement factory.
Oh, okay.
It drives me nuts. It's my favorite level. I love that level.
That's how I felt when a few years, actually probably many years back now. I think probably 8, 6, 7. I don't know, somewhere in that range. They updated Turtles in Time for the PlayStation 3. But they did the arcade version and not the Super Nintendo version, and there were villains that were a little bit different.
And they upgraded the graphics, but they were worse.
I didn't mind the graphics. The graphics I was okay
it was
with.
3D, right?
It was yeah.
Yeah,
but
didn't like it.
I was okay with it. It was the levels that I didn't like because they completely dropped the Technodrome level with Toka and Razar.
Oh, yeah.
They replaced Slash with the Mud Monster. They basically went with the arcade version, which is
it's
it's
fine.
still fun.
That's
whatever.
What they had.
But
you're right. That
the
other
Super
version's
Nintendo
better.
one is
I wish
top notch.
I wish they would just. Wait, why have we gotten into a point in our lives where people don't like pixels?
I love pixels.
I love pixels. They're beautiful. And you know what? The Super Nintendo, what I like about the Super Nintendo and why I'm probably going, I've got a Super Nintendo. I've got a lot of the games that are on it.
Well, that box right there, that Ninja Turtle that giant Ninja Turtle box has my old Super Nintendo, old Nintendo.
But I do like the idea of being able to plug it into an HDMI and go.
Yes.
And having those specific 30 games. Because I feel like obviously 16-bit, it never got better, I think, as far as pixel graphics. I mean, Saturn did it pretty well because they were kind of, when the Saturn came out, it was geared more towards they didn't put it all into pixels, unfortunately. Poor Saturn. It's a better system than you think. But I think they're beautiful. So, the Super Nintendo, full of like some of the most beautifully pixelated games that you can find, and I think Turtles in Time it's a gorgeous game. Gorgeous game. I really love that game. I think the animations are just great. Not to take anything away from the original, but we never got a home port of the original. I mean, I think there was one on the 360.
Let's see if I can pull one up here.
But we never got a home port as beautiful as the arcade game for the first one.
Right.
But that Super Nintendo Turtles in Time is just Turtles in Time's not on there, is it?
No, I think there's some licensing issues with that.
It makes sense. Probably a lot, and it's a Konami game.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let's see if I can pull up. Yeah, there we go. Look at that wonderful graphics right there.
It's fantastic.
Oh, too big. Go
Too
back.
big.
There we go. All right, there we
Bring
go.
it down. And just once you realized how to like throw people, and
my favorite was the dash, and then you like threw him into the screen.
The shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, the dash and throw?
Yeah. Because that's how you defeat Shredder in one of the levels.
Exactly.
You had to
so
dash
you
into
really
him
get into
and then flip him back into the screen.
Dash.
It's so much. I think it made it easier if you dashed.
Maybe.
Because you drop a shoulder into them and they're kind of there, and you move a little bit.
Well, the game helps you out. It makes it easier to throw like that because they want you to be able to beat the first boss.
Well, yeah. Well, not the first boss. Baxter Stockman's the first boss.
Oh yeah.
He's probably about midway through the game, boss. Actually, maybe first third.
Oh yeah,
first third. Yeah, because it's
yeah.
It's
Baxter. Played through
it's
we
Baxter
played through
Baxter Stockman, Metalhead, Rat King,
Metalhead, and Rat King. That's right.
And then you go into the Technodrome, and then depending on the version of the game you play Toko Razar, and then you finally play Shredder, and then he sends you back in time.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's technically third, fourth boss.
What am I thinking?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Anyways, so yeah,
that's better than the Rocksteady boss though from the first one.
No, you mean from the original arcade game?
From the
original Konami game or the original arcade game?
The arcade game.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I love the Rocks.
It was good. He was a pain in the butt.
He was
such a pain in the butt.
Shooting everywhere.
I actually like Turtles 3. A very underrated game.
Manhattan Project.
Yeah, one of the last Turtle game they made for Nintendo. Like it's so much so that the Super Nintendo was already out.
Mule kick, right?
Yeah. Michelangelo the mule kick.
I don't know why I remember the mule kick so much.
Donnie had the somersault with the bow staff. Raph had the drill, and Leo had the spin around the tornado. That's how often I played the game. I remember
wish that those games
30 years
had come out. I wish they made more Turtles games. I mean, I know it was kind of past its prime, but I wish that they had been able to make more Turtle beat 'em up games on the Super Nintendo. I mean, obviously you had the Fighters,
Super Nintendo, right? Yeah,
which was a competent, decent Street Fighter clone. And it's not groundbreaking, but it was a competent little Street Fighter clone.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Tournament fighters.
I liked it.
I'm trying to think what else they've done some recent ones lately. They had one based off the most recent cartoon.
Yeah, but wasn't that terrible?
It was. I mean, it's a kids game, so I mean, how mad can I be at it? You know.
Still mad.
I guess.
Do we have kids games? Our kids games were impossible.
Yeah.
The first Ninja Turtles game, one of the hardest games ever made, was aimed towards kids. Hardest game ever.
Speaking of kids, I also watched DuckTales.
Woo.
Yes. Oh, that's actually I should see. I'm not used to that yet. Sorry, I'm not used to.
Wait. I'm sorry. Let's. You know what? Let's bring it back.
Speaking of kids,
what happened?
Speaking of kid shows, I also watched DuckTales. There we are.
Oh, so you watched DuckTales?
Yes, I did.
I gotta tell you, one of my favorite shows right now is
Yeah?
DuckTales.
How long till we get everybody annoyed with this? Oh, let's see here. What we got? Friends of the show, top 100. Okay.
Ooh.
Alex has got his top 100 films. We'll have to throw that out there later in the week here for you, Alex.
Let's spoil number one. Number one is Pluto Nash. Woo.
Inconceivable.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
I've got a bunch of foreign ones with names I can't say.
I hope there's lots of nudity.
Inappropriate.
Oh, darn. I feel like I would have said that if
Sarah would have said it if she was here.
Where's how far until
Citizen Kane?
Oh, you've seen that one? Just yelling out things you've seen.
That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Crouching Tiger, you've seen that?
Yeah, ish, sorta, bits and pieces. Oh, there's one. There's one I've seen. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, so let's get back. Alex, we'll have to make sure we go through that later on, man. I appreciate you sharing that. But yes, I have caught up with DuckTales, and it is still incredibly enjoyable.
What is?
I'm just gonna do that. There you go. Just for you. You missed it last week, so I've actually got one that I haven't debuted for you yet.
Ooh.
Yes.
What do I need to do? Prompt me.
And
what do I need to do to
the
prompt
news
it?
will definitely cue it up because there'll be something in the news that you have to talk about, and then it'll set it off. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, DuckTales. Let's see. I started playing Breath of the Wild. I died a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm going into regions because I like to explore this stuff. It's an open world environment now, so I'm going exploring everywhere.
That's right. You're going
and so I'm probably going to areas
basically,
and so I'm dying pretty quickly. And but I'm just
how you liking it?
Bring it on.
I'm going with it. I like it so far. It's not as the
people completely
but
just lost it over this game.
It's not as pretty as the trailers made it look like.
Woo.
No,
It doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't really fit there.
I just want it after everything we say.
Understandable. That's all we got it now.
Oh,
but
that's interesting because is it amazingly fun?
It's enjoyable.
It's not, is it? It's not as great as I'm just making it out to be.
Maybe I'm missing it. Is anyone else playing Breath of the Wild and really like head over heels for it?
A lot of people when it came out, everybody was.
But it's beautiful. It's a nice game. It's not as pretty as the trailers were. I don't know.
When did
maybe
I fall out of love with Nintendo?
Did
Did
it get overhyped?
As much as everything. Oh, I think so.
Is that what the problem was?
It's the same problem that I ran into with Wonder Woman.
It got overhyped.
I went to see it, and I was like, "Oh, this is just a movie."
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just a movie.
Yeah. Basically, when it boils down to it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. At some point though, I fell out of love with Nintendo. Maybe the BS with and I was in for a long time too. I mean, GameCube, and I like the GameCube. I think it's a fun little
pretty
system.
Steady with Nintendo around here.
Even N64, as garbage looking as it was at the time,
it was. For the time, I thought it was really. All right, I thought it was good.
Those mud graphics, I've always had a problem with.
All right,
and it may be because I'm older.
Maybe.
So like as a 20-year-old.
Okay, well, see, as as like a 15-year-old, I thought it was great.
As a 20-year-old, I'm just like, this is mud. I'm gonna go play more Doom.
See, I mean, I didn't have an N64, but I played the N64. Had a buddy of mine in college brought over his GameCube and just basically left it at my house all the time. Wait, and I played Sarah's GameCube.
I just want to preface this with
but
I played so much Super Mario and Ocarina of Time that maybe I'm talking out of my butt.
Well,
So-
I mean, at some level you enjoyed it, but you enjoyed specific franchises that you knew that you already loved.
Right.
You didn't get into anything new because of it.
I
then.
feel like the Wii. I
like the Wii.
played,
I bought the
liked
Wii specifically for Ghostbusters and Force Unleashed. Force Unleashed.
I've never played the Force Unleashed on the Wii.
It
I'll
was
be
worse
honest,
than the PlayStation version, but
I never played anything seriously
there was
on the Wii.
okay. There was a combat version where you could beat like lightsabers and stuff, and that was fun.
That seems fun.
And then the Ghostbusters used the wand as the neutrino wand.
When
so
it comes to the Wii, anything that was ported over to it, I didn't really play. I only played the Nintendo games.
Okay.
The Nintendo branded games, and I'm sure it'll be the same with the Switch if I even get one.
You should. They're actually making more.
I didn't get
I heard
a Wii
today.
U.
I heard today that Nintendo is going to be putting out a few more million. I think like a couple million.
Well, I mean,
more.
I don't even know if it's that. Like I ran into them like when they were first launched. I ran into them a couple times at Best Buy. It was just like, I don't want that. There's something unappealing to
what
even when
prompted us
we
to get
played
the
it.
Nintendo Switch.
I had fun playing when we played. I mean, I had fun,
Right.
but I couldn't imagine playing it any other time unless there were friends. There's something about the controllers I don't like. Sarah
and I have played what is it called? The Snipper Clips. We played that. Miles has come over and we played Snipper Clips Overcooked. This is gonna sound bad. We had a tailgate this weekend.
Overcooked just made me angry.
It's so frustrating, isn't it?
I don't want a job. And
I don't want to work in the
everybody
food industry.
Everybody knew exactly what to do when they were choreographed, and I'm just like, I'm chopping here. What am I?
You got to have. It's
this?
a lot of coordination.
It's just mad.
But this weekend, for example, we had a tailgate, and everyone was outside and hanging out, and whatnot. And then I just got to a point where I'd had enough drinks. Everyone was talking, socializing. I was like, "Sweet, this is perfect." Everyone's jiving.
Pulled out your Wii.
I pulled out the Switch and just went outside in the hammock and just hung out, watched people talk and socialize and play the Switch. Sarah might have yelled at me.
Socializing,
but
Keith style.
I socialized for a bit. Then I was like, "All right, I've had my fill. I want to play some Breath of the Wild." Yeah. So Alex and Matthew have chimed in. N64 graphics weren't super sharp, but what it did really well was have a great sense of physicality. Because that's true. We kind of lost the 2D side scrollers with that. Right? I mean, we'd gotten out of the realm.
I know what he means. I kind of know what he means.
Surfaces felt solid. Impacts, felt tactile and real. Compared to now, they probably don't. But back then, for those of us that, we had the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then N64, and that was...
It is true. You know what? I'm lying. Like, I just picked up another N64, and I've been playing it a lot. So maybe I'm just lying.
So you're just making radio at this point?
I feel like I'm just making radio. Why am I down on the N64? I think I'm down on the M64. The M64?
M64.
Great gun. Great gun. I think I'm down on the N64 just because I'm angry at Nintendo.
Understandable.
Starting with the Wii. And there were some really great games with the Wii. Don't get me wrong.
Matt said it was pretty gimmicky. Not you, Matt. Matt on there. Said that it was gimmicky with the controls for most games, which I will fully agree. And you know what? It suckered me in. And those bullet impacts were awesome.
You know what, Alex? I'm full of crap. The N64 is a fantastic system. I don't know where I'm talking about. That controller was great.
You just had to be reminded.
I do have to be reminded because it feels like a long time for me.
Well, it's because it was a long time.
I've been through a lot of game systems.
The N64 was probably 20 years ago.
Keith, all of them. I was around when all of the game systems were released.
I got my first...
Except for the Odyssey.
My first and actually only game system for my entire childhood was an NES. My parents got it for me when they had my sisters. Like, oh, here you go, kid.
See, I wish you were old enough to...
but I was like 4 or 5 when I got that.
I wish you were old enough to understand the leap from the Atari VCS.
Okay.
Or the 2600.
Yes, I never played it with as a kid.
Because that was all I had when I was a kid. I had a 2600. I always wanted a damn ColecoVision. ColecoVision had not almost perfect, but it was a really good, interesting story about that. Their Donkey Kong was just a fantastic port of Donkey Kong. But they intentionally gimped the other versions of Donkey Kong so that the Coleco version would sell more.
Interesting. And I just realized I combined Matt's and Alex's comments because I came in right as I was reading Matt's. Matt said if you were enjoyable, N64 was great. And Alex was saying the gunshots in GoldenEye, the bullet impacts. GoldenEye?
I actually remember the crash when the crash happened.
Because of E.T.
And
thanks, Spielberg.
For the most, kind of. And the 2600, man, it's weird. Like I think about now how I was back then. I would like actually choose to go outside and play over playing the 2600, and there were snakes outside. Like where I lived, there were a lot of snakes, and I was like, I'm gonna go play with the snakes. I'm kind of done with the 2600. It was weird. It was like the entire country had kind of like given up. Still loved arcades. Loved arcades. Huge into Pac-Man.
Arcades are great.
Huge into like the Nintendo games like Donkey Kong. One of my favorite things ever. Popeye. I love the Nintendo version of Popeye. Loved
Wasn't there
arcades.
an arcade version of Popeye too?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
It's
and then
fantastic.
then it got ported to
it was on
Nintendo.
Nintendo made it.
Okay.
So it was actually it ran on the same hardware as Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And the cabinet looks almost exactly like it is a Donkey Kong cabinet, which is different side art. Loved it, but when it came to like home gaming, the 2600, it was like all I had. I didn't have a Coleco or any of the other ones. Not like in a television. I just got bored and tired with it, like everybody did in the country. And when Nintendo came out, and when I went from having a 2600 to playing Mario Brothers on the Nintendo, dude, it was over. Like that, even at that age. So I was like maybe 8 or 9 when I got my Nintendo. When I went from a 2600 to a Nintendo, even at that age, I understood what a giant leap forward it was.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
And just growing up at that age with a Nintendo was insane. So I feel like once it got to the Wii, and you're also talking about a system that came out when I was in my 30s, and like the Wii U. So
yeah. Well, like Matt said, it's kind of gimmicky.
I'm playing a lot of online stuff. I'm playing, and they're very resistant to online. A lot of competitive shooters and stuff.
They're still having problems with their
big boy
Switch
systems.
With the voiceover control, like the voice chat. There we go.
They should really.
Like you got to use an app, and it's like they don't. They really have something against the online stuff. I don't quite get.
Different mentality.
I guess.
Different country.
I guess.
I mean, think about it. Think about the games that you used to play back in your childhood, and how many of them came from Japan. Wow.
Original Warcraft.
Mist. What are you doing? You're just trying to blow my thing apart.
I was a weird kid.
Popular games that you weren't playing, and how many of them are originating in Japan. And then with Microsoft kind of coming over and developing, and a lot of the console hardware starting to mimic computer hardware. I feel like then it started to shift, and we started to get American games. I mean, it feels like, I mean, when's the last? Well, you play a lot of Nintendo. I feel like I'm not even playing Japanese video games anymore.
No, we're
almost
pretty.
everything
we
I'm
got a
playing
pretty
is
big
Western
Mario.
developed.
We got a pretty big Mario household in here.
And I'm not even playing Mario anymore.
I mean,
I love them.
I've always played a Mario Kart, Smash Brothers. I mean, that's another reason I got the Wii. Honestly, is because I wanted to have Mario Kart in the house. So I had Mario Kart. I had Smash Brothers. So and see, that's the thing. I think, and this is where you and me, as far as our life experiences, differed. You were a little bit older, but then I also went to college where I had that group experience where we would get drunk and play video games. You know, that was a thing.
My college years was GoldenEye.
Okay.
It was GoldenEye and Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
And we would just get super drunk and get into fights playing GoldenEye and Mario 64.
It was Mario Kart, Halo, and Smash for us.
Let somebody get the golden gun and go nuts on people. They're gonna go home hurting.
Yeah.
They're gonna get stumped.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're drunk.
It goes back to N64. We are in our 30s and things still get violent with kart.
That
I mean, this happens.
I was so mad at Overcooked that I just said I'm not going to play this anymore. Like I knew
Overcooked is fun, and when you get people who are, once everyone gets familiar with the game, you get everybody in there, and then you just start like delegating stuff and get people moving. And as long as everybody's familiar with it, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of frantic fun. You're going to get annoyed.
I feel like we've proven so far tonight that I'm just a liar. Don't trust anything I say. I'll go back on it in minutes.
Well, that's fine. It just means we can convince you. So
I know when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm going to stop being so anti-N64. I don't know. Do you want to see an N64 classic after this?
What's that?
Like after the SNES Classic and the NES Classic, do you want to
I
see
thought you were like, do you want to see an
classic?
N64 Classic like game or video or something? I was like, what, are we going to go like end the
Zip
show
my
and watch
pants or
YouTube?
something?
No.
Like this is some sort
Inappropriate.
of... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm glad we have that button now. 'Cause
I
then
know,
it
right?
stops me
I've
from
got
going.
that, and then we've also got
Language.
So it really kind of keeps us in control. But then, to be fair, a few blocks over is this.
We'll do it live.
So I mean,
It's true.
we try to balance it out here
We
a little
do
bit.
yell that before we go live all the time. Alex says that he used to always play one-hit kills in GoldenEye just because it was more realistic to die in one shot rather than being able to survive tons of shots. True, but then you're going to get more angry. Especially at stupid Odd Job. Stop picking Odd Job. We know you're picking him. He's shorter, harder to hit. Annoying.
Everyone's got their. But answer your question. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Oh, right.
The N64 Classic, yes.
Like Odd Job?
Yes, and an Odd Job. And yeah, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop that there. Yeah,
I think the
wouldn't
biggest
mind
problem with that would be the controller.
Yeah, it'd be a bulky controller. The controller would be
It's the same controller.
yeah, but it wouldn't be as convenient as that little Super Nintendo or Nintendo controller. And even the ones that came out with the classic are smaller than the original ones. I'd have to check, but I mean, I don't think it's by much.
It felt right.
It did. It
Yeah.
felt a little small to me.
Your
Not by
hands are bigger?
much, maybe. Okay, actually, that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I mean, what would the classic games be that you would want on it? Obviously, the Nintendos.
there'd be a Mario, there'd be a Kart, there'd be a Donkey Kong. Was there I imagine there's a Metroid for Super Nintendo
There
N64. I mean,
was not.
There wasn't.
There was not. No, that's why when we got Nintendo or when we
Didn't
got it
they-
on the Wii,
What did they do? Is that what they did the first person shooter on?
that was on the Wii. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's why it was such a big deal because it had been an entire console generation. We didn't have Metroid.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime was the first Metroid since on consoles. There were,
Okay.
I think, there was one on. No, I don't even think. I think the last Metroid game was Super Metroid.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Matt's chime in, and you guys should chime in
Oh,
too.
I forgot all about the Rare developed Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I said
Donkey Kong 64. I
Yeah.
forget all about that game that even existed.
Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, but
I know, I played
Matt's
it
saying
all the way
Zelda,
through.
Mario, Donkey Kong, GoldenEye. See, I don't know if GoldenEye would they have the
Mario 64 is probably one of my favorite games of all times.
Is GoldenEye? Would that be I feel like that would be a license issue.
Yeah, because they already had problems with it. Like Rare couldn't bring it over to their Rare a couple of years ago released a although I don't know if it would be for Nintendo though. Probably because I guess what it would be Paramount that owns that. There was a Rare collection that pretty much went through and collected most of Rare's older games.
Okay.
From like their inception to and a lot of great games too, and Nintendo games on the Xbox because Microsoft bought Rare,
Okay.
and then canned everybody who ever made a good game from Rare. So we haven't seen anything. Isn't there supposed to be a pirate game they're bringing out? It's an online pirate game. It feels like it's been like the last like 8
Close this ad because I don't know. What it's for.
E3s. Yeah, so Rare couldn't put GoldenEye in it.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a Nintendo issue, if it was it must not have been a Nintendo issue because like RC Pro-Am was on it,
Okay.
and a lot of some of their Nintendo games were on it. So I don't think that was the problem.
Yeah, and
it's probably the studio.
I think with these classics, they've got to kind of watch what like their licenses. I'm sure they could put all these other ones on here. Yeah, that was Spyro wasn't in 64.
It was PS3.
It was PS1.
I mean, PS1.
Yeah, that
Sorry.
was PS1. Because I love the original Spyro series. Not when they rebooted it and this is Elijah Wood and then eventually tied it into Skylanders. It was super weird. But those first 3 Spyro games are top notch.
I feel like I played the first one, but I was working at Software Etc. at the time. Just take them home.
I'm just kind of going down this list of N64
Shadows
games.
of the Empire wasn't bad. It had that great.
Pokemon Snap.
That's a bad game.
Pokemon Snap better than Pokemon Tournament? Because I played the crap out of the Pokemon Tournament
I
on
don't know. I was going
N64.
to play Pokemon in N64.
I did. I played Pokemon Tournament with a buddy of mine. It was fun.
I'm sure.
I'm like 5 years younger
I
than you.
played Pokemon on. I had Pokemon Red on the Game Boy when it came out, and I loved it.
Mario Tennis.
Yoshi's Story was a fun game.
Yoshi Story. There's some story.
Rogue Squadron series is fantastic.
Yeah.
especially if you have the chip or the cart, the expansion cart. Oh, I forgot
Diddy
all about
Kong
Diddy Kong Racing.
So yeah, see, you're gonna see some
that's a weird franchise that I'm surprised. Banjo-Tooie and Banjo-Kazooie.
I could imagine those on there.
And Conker's Bad Fur Day were all on the Rare collection. So I don't think it was a Nintendo issue. I think it was the
Mario Party. Ooh, that's actually an idea. We'd get a Mario Party on a Nintendo 64 Classic.
Perfect Dark was.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, Pokemon Stadium. Now we're talking. There we go.
N64 Transfer Pack.
Yeah.
Love the peripherals. Remember the Rumble Packs?
Yeah, I remember the Rumble Pack. Oh, there's Banjo-Kazooie.
That's a great game.
So let's see. Paper Mario.
Oh, Paper Mario is a great game.
It's been a little while since. Didn't we have a Paper Mario series come out soon?
I think there was a Paper Mario and Wii. I know there was a Paper Mario.
Oh, there's Sarah. 8 is actually 7 in Chicago. Imagine that.
She's in a different time.
Yes.
She time traveled?
A little bit. I fixed up the flux capacitor on the DeLorean so that she took it back. What?
This makes sense. When you know what we need to do? What day is it? We got to get her the lottery numbers because she'll still have time to go play them.
Sweet. All right, we'll get them a little bit before her and then send them over to her.
Donkey Kong 64 is fantastic. Star Fox 64. Okay, you know what? I'm full of crap. The Nintendo 64 had, but once again, I mean, I feel like this was the big start of. If you have a Nintendo console, the only great games you're going to get are on the floor. The only great games you're going to get, I never played Majora's Mask. The only great games you're going to play are Nintendo games, or Nintendo's first-party games. I feel like that. Whoa. Why is Super Mario 64 at 3?
Well, it's this list.
So it's going to be Smash Brothers and Ocarina? No, come on.
That's what this list is.
Get out of here.
I don't yell at me.
I'm
just
happy when Ocarina of Time came out. I was working that day, and we had a bunch of them. And I think I faked sick, and I was like, I'm so sick. I'm taking my copy of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great time for video games. Now.
Yes.
Oh. Sarah says that the show hasn't started here yet.
Yeah, good. She got 18 minutes before we started.
We have time to write everything for the Chicago version.
Yeah. Okay. See, Bradley says Super Smash, Perfect Dark, 007.
I feel like I would like a. Did we go back and play 007?
I played it when they put it back on the Wii.
You know what I feel? Halo really hurt 007.
Probably. Well, I mean, because it's
Halo, I feel like they really started to get first-person shooters.
But would we have Halo if it weren't for Golden?
Yes, probably.
You think?
Yeah.
I think other first-person shooters would have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had other first-person shooters.
I know, but
Turok.
I mean, yeah, because that was a gangbuster.
Turok 2.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I feel like they were the first to really get. They were the first to really get multiplayer on consoles right when it came to first person shooters, because Doom didn't really seem to translate, and it feels like everybody had a Doom port, but didn't really work as far as multiplayer unless it was on the PC.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there was Doom, GoldenEye.
Yeah, they would have gotten there.
Wolfenstein. There was what was it? Duke Nukem.
Well, and I feel like Halo was really yes, Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. You ever play much Turok?
Not.
I feel like it was a launch title, which is the only reason why I
remember playing it
when
as a kid. But then I remember they redid it, or remade it, rebooted it, whatever, recently for one of the PlayStations, I think. And I want to say
I feel like you're right.
And I want to say I played that, and I just thought it was fun because I got to shoot dinosaurs with a bear. I'm telling you, I'm a sucker for any game where I can use a bow and arrow to shoot things.
Well, that was Turok.
Assassin's Creed 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, which I finally finished this week. So 70 hours on that.
Never finished that game. You know
it.
why? Shadows of Mordor, or what is it?
Yeah. Shadows of Mordor.
Whatever.
Yeah,
the second one of that series. Did you ever play that game?
No.
One of my favorite games of 3 years ago.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna pick that up. We got a tough week for us. If you're a video game fan, you might as well just give up money.
Oh, that reminds me. We need to look at my PlayStation before you go, because I bought a external so I could start, because we've got Battlefront.
It's easy. I can show you how to do it.
Yeah, well, you know what?
It's basically plug and play.
It said it's not supported. I tried formatting it. It said it's not supported.
Okay, take it back and go get another one that's supported.
I did Amazon. Gonna ship it back. Yeah, I might just use it in here and just backups. Anyways, yeah. So we've got. I'm thinking of the games I've got coming out right now, or coming up by the end of the year. Battlefront 2, which the beta was out. Played the beta.
Which is in this group of like the next 4 weeks, because today we had the Shadows of Mordor sequel, Shadows of War maybe. It's just too similarly named. It's one of those things where it's like so generically named. The Middle Earth game, and then
Sarah's glad I'm done.
Single Future Caveman Robot Wars. Sarah was done with it. She's gonna be happy. What we got next week? We got something big next week.
Let's see. The 2 big games I know I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2, which the beta was a lot of fun so far, and Lego Superheroes 2.
No, there was another one I think that's next week that
let's see
is one you want.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're getting into the big because that's just how video games work. It's like you have
Christmas season.
You have that long, and we got screwed because you and I should both be playing Red Dead Redemption right now.
Oh yeah, don't even get me
but
started.
They moved that into to next year, which I'm kind of going.
Speaking
of Red Dead Redemption,
let's put that stuff on.
That.
Let's put our video game talk on hold. We'll pull up the upcoming releases when we get back, because right now it is time for this guy.
Greg.
Yes.
I'm worried that you guys just use that intro to take like a 15-second break.
I did actually. I got my drink off the countertop. So.
See, I knew it.
God, it's got you coming in a little hot here.
Everybody's hot tonight.
Yeah, that's the way we like it with Greg. All
I
right,
feel bad because the
you
last
guys?
time I was here and Greg called in, I didn't have headphones, so I couldn't actually hear what he was saying. So I was just nodding. Now I feel good. I can actually hear him.
You can hear him. And Greg, we've got no Sarah tonight, so we apologize. You're dealing with 2 dudes.
So much testosterone.
It is. It's a lot of testosterone.
So, what's coming out this week that has lots of nudity and adult themes and sexuality?
Really?
You know they make this comics, but I typically skip them all because the people that ask for them are the weirdest people ever. So
there's a lot of weird people out there.
Only wholesome stuff. Only the wholesome stuff for me.
Good man. That's why we like you on the show. It's a good family show.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some good stuff this week.
What do we got?
The Button hardcover comes out this week. If you missed the Flash Batman crossover, that kind of introduced the Watchmen stuff into the DCU. The collection is out. It's nice. It's got the flippy special cover. And then this is kind of the lead into Doomsday Clock, which is the big DC Watchmen thing towards the end of the year, starting in November. So if you missed the Button in single issues, grab it tomorrow in hardcover.
Can I rip one in half? Because I read the first two issues.
Just do it after you pay for it.
Can you rip one in half?
Yeah, can I just rip one in half and then only pay half price? Or do I have to pay the whole price?
Well, I mean, I'll sell you the whole thing for $10. How's that sound?
Well, now I'll feel bad when I rip it apart.
You should.
You should. Tomorrow is also Marvel Legacy Week 2. They're back to basics, kind of, right to ship approach. They've got 8 titles this week. They're all great jumping on points. If you're at all interested in Marvel, now's a good time to check them out because this is what they're going for. They want to bring lapsed readers back into the fold and make a nice place for new readers to jump in.
They're doing a good job.
I hope so.
Because I think I'm going to crack. I'm trying real hard. Stupid things, like just the fact that maybe Wolverine is back. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. They got like 8 Wolverines, but then I'm but Wolverine's back.
You know who's not coming back?
They do have 8 Wolverines, but the 9th one is the most important Wolverine because he's the original Wolverine.
Yeah, it's gonna crack me.
The 9th one's the original.
It's gonna crack me.
But I heard they're not bringing Cyclops back, so just keep that in mind for all those Cyclops fans out there. So I read that today that they are not bringing Cyclops back.
There's 2 Cyclops fans, so they're going to both be disappointed.
Ooh, Cyclops isn't back. I will remember him as he was.
A jerk.
Don't we still have? We have young Cyclops.
We have some young
still,
Cyclops, but
right?
like the original Cyclops is
Yeah, but they
is
screwed up
gone.
his character so bad that,
It's probably better that he's gone then, huh?
or they didn't screw him up enough. I don't know what it is.
I,
They went
I
really
didn't- I haven't read the
wishy-washy.
Death- I haven't read the Death of
Matt
X yet.
is so emotionally invested in
I
these
am
characters.
very emotional. Well, you know what? We did All Day You Drunks, and at one point, this weekend, I broadcast for 24 hours. At one point, we had local celebrity Alfredo Torres on, and he was talking about X-Men in the 70s, which is pretty much all he talks about. And I had to pull out my copy of X-Men number 94 to show him, and he was very impressed. It's like, you are a fan. He was like, that came out in 1980. I was like, 1975, but okay.
yeah.
Close
Torres,
enough.
Torres has had a long history. His memory's starting to go at his age. So, all right, what else we got, Greg?
Metal tomorrow, third issue. People love this series. It's the dark versions of all your favorite DC characters trying to take over the DCU. The first two issues and the spin-offs have been eaten up at local heroes, I'm assuming everywhere. So issue 3 tomorrow of Metal. Another really good DC book that I feel like some people might have skipped over. Mr. Miracle, the old Kirby character, is written by the team that did the really good Vision comic for Marvel. They're doing, I'm sorry, not the Vision comic, the team that did Sheriff of Babylon from DC.
Okay.
They're really good together, and this book is really good. If you're at all a DC, Kirby, Mr. Miracle fan,
I'd
the third
read that,
issue's out tomorrow.
but I don't like the word mother box. I don't know what it is.
That's fine. And then also tomorrow, one of my favorite comics ever is back. It's been forever. Wormwood Gentleman Corpse by Ben Temple Smith. It's been going for probably 10 years. He's back with a new series from IDW tomorrow. It's a great book. It's funny. It's morbid. It's dark. It's about an animated corpse who is a gentleman and the misadventures of him and his cohorts. So check that one out. If you've never read a Wormwood comic, you're doing yourself a disservice.
And which issue's coming out tomorrow?
And that's what I got. That's the first issue.
Oh, the first issue. Okay, so it's coming. I
Corpse.
thought you said it was coming back as far as like it had been on a hiatus, like Saga does.
Yeah, they've done they've done 2 or 3 series previous to this, like 5
Okay.
or 6 issues, but it's been 10 years probably since they've done one. So
Gotcha. Okay. Well, where can they pick up these fine comics tomorrow?
Local Heroes is where you should buy all your comics and all your comics
Yes.
related
Let's put. I think we
accessories,
should make our
novelties,
bets.
merchandise.
We should place our bets.
And
On?
Is tomorrow going
yeah,
to be the
and
day
we're
I
in
crack?
Norfolk.
No. We got to go shoot a video tomorrow. We discussed
At what
this like
time?
45 minutes, like right after work. We got to be
Yeah.
out there like 5:30.
Tomorrow will not be the day I crack.
Yeah, we're not going to be there tomorrow, Greg. But if we were
Hey,
going to
you know
go
what? We're
tomorrow,
open 7 days a week.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Go to
7
Thursday.
days a week, 1905 Colonial Avenue in Ghent.
Will Thursday be the day I crack and go in for some Marvel Legacy and that Paper Girls
Possible.
trade number 3?
You should.
There you go. And if you're listening to this radio program in another state, say California, Washington,
We do have
Those are
listeners
two
all
other
over.
states?
Yes.
you can find a comic shop at comicshoplocator.com. It's awesome. Takes 2 seconds.
Awesome. Well,
Cool.
Greg, we love your shop, and we will be in this week at some point to get the new
I-
releases.
I can't
will
speak
be
for
in.
Keith, but I actually love you and your shop.
Thanks. Thank you.
I like the
Thank you,
shop.
sir.
I like supporting Greg. I don't know if I've gone to the full. I've got a mutual respect for the beard. He's got
You
a
also
solid
don't
beard.
know what a mother box is, so
I don't.
Thanks. And you know what? You can tell that I'm malnourished and need the money. So I appreciate that.
I've got no response to that, Greg.
Greg needs to eat.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Go buy
Let's go
comics.
support Greg. Buy comics at local heroes.
We'll see you soon.
All right, man.
Greg.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be honest, I can't think of another place I would buy
He's not.
comics around
He's
here.
not malnourished. He's got Kogan's right next door. There's no way that man is malnourished.
He's probably there right now.
I would be.
Oh, let's go.
Kogan's.
Let's
We good?
end
We don't
this.
want to do.
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
Bye. This has been Popped. We're
All
going to
right.
be Kogan's.
Sarah's not here to stop us.
Sarah says
well,
to
that's a good
invite the
point.
man over for chicken pot pie. She says probably shouldn't spring that on
About
Greg
Alex's
today.
comment. About,
Oh.
I can't tell if Alex is being serious or not.
We should talk about how superheroes are inherently conservative and a harmful phenomenon to society.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, everything's way.
I mean, we can talk comics one day, and like that's gonna be a full-on topic where we need all three of us because we all three have got different viewpoints and stuff.
Oh, my viewpoint is sometimes a mother box is just a mother box.
Inappropriate.
It's
no,
not.
hold on, here
Phrasing.
There we go. Is that better?
It's not.
I don't know. I just got really.
Keithy, Alex says that he's being totally serious.
I don't think they're inherently conservative.
Oh, I don't care. I love them.
Neither do I. I don't. I try
But
not.
I also love Rush Limbaugh, so I don't.
Do you?
No.
I was gonna
No.
say. I mean,
No.
there have been times when I came over and you had that Rush Limbaugh poster hanging in your bedroom,
That's true.
but then you replaced it with Sean Hannity. I figured you just moved on from the Rush Limbaugh phase.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big Hannah head. Is that what they call him?
No, I don't think so.
Should.
Here you go. This is something I can comment on. Henson Matt, Matthew Henson, no relation to Jim. Said
the
he needs to
name's spelled completely differently, so
it's pronounced the same, I'm assuming. So, he said he needs to catch up on the Star Wars comics, and yes, he does because they're amazing. I haven't read a
I
bad
got too
one
far
yet.
behind. I'm done.
There's a whole. I'm trying to see if you can see them. Hold on, let's see here. Let's pull up the.
It's weird with
if
Star
that-
Wars. As being as a
That shelf
huge
right
old
there.
school Star Wars fan as I am,
It's all my.
you'd think I'd want to get.
Right here.
I've never been expanded universe.
I wasn't
I've
until
never
the
been
comics.
books and things, and now that we're getting like expanded universe movies,
Well, they expanded.
Kinda, I
They've
mean,
they've,
we're just
they've
getting-
mixed the whole expanded universe. So I mean, it's
yeah.
that they are creating their own expanded universe now in canon. With now that that's
I
that
prefer
Disney's
my
bought
Star
them.
Wars being movies. I have a hard time when like with Buffy, like when Buffy goes Buffy went from TV series, is that
Yeah.
what it was?
Yeah.
When it went from TV series to comics, I had a hard time. Like it's the mediums are too different. Like
They
I
are.
don't even really I don't see a connection between like the Marvels, the MCU, and like the actual Marvel Comics universe.
Oh, they're gonna say
Like,
the MCU and the TV shows.
I just look at them as adaptations, I guess. So it's
Well, I
hard for
think-
me to pick up like a continuation of the story. You know?
See, I think that's a bit different. I don't see it as a continuation. I see it as an like embellishment, kind of filling in some gaps. Because Firefly, rest in peace, only had its one season, and then they did comics to kind of, and they've been doing comics ever since the show's been done. And it's been a nice way to kind of get my fix because I love Firefly. Firefly's an amazing show. Star Wars, the comics kind of embellishes the characters a little bit, builds on them, and they actually kind of put some.
I
some
didn't hate them. I didn't hate them. I just I have
yeah,
a
you said
hard.
you got behind.
I have a weird thing with I just have a weird thing with making the same connection.
Okay.
With that, like making the same kind of like I feel
Well,
like it's on
I think
it's just it's
the MCU
different.
and Marvel is different. That's
That's true.
that's why. I mean, but the
But
Star
even with
Wars
the-
actually is
even with the books. I guess because it's such a different medium.
yeah.
I mean, even though they're both visual mediums, I have a problem when I go over and like it's
Fair
like a
enough.
weird disconnect where I have problems thinking like, oh, this is Han Solo, the Han Solo that I'm just like, this is like a comic guy named Han Solo. I don't know what it is.
All right. So Matt's got some. The message of today is Matt's got some hangups. N64 comics.
Don't I? But we found out the N64 is a lie. I love it.
Yeah.
Matthew says that the expanded universe content adds more flavor to the universe
Yeah.
and adds background to the characters.
So he said it way better than I. Why is
Yeah,
why is
but
it,
I-
Matt?
for-
Why aren't you doing this? You
I
word
have
better
problems.
than I do.
I have problems seeing them as the same characters.
I don't.
Like they're like okay, like.
but
when
see,
you
I also
a
like
cartoon
watching
version-
Clone Wars and
Oh,
Rebels.
I got it. Okay, so remember Alf,
Yes.
and then there was the cartoon Alf.
Yes.
So I feel like Alf was like real, and that happened in like the real universe.
Of course,
But,
it was a
like,
documentary.
Alf,
Alf the documentary.
the cartoon, was like that's something they would watch in
Okay.
Alf.
I've got a question though. What if they did the Starcorn comics? Would you read the Starcorn comics?
Oh my gosh, not Starcorn.
Just asking for a friend.
I would read Starcorn.
All right.
I think I'd be okay with Starcorn because Starcorn's more about agriculture, and it's way more to do with the growing corn in space.
Hey, Matt, you mentioned you could have a doctorate in the Star Wars expanded universe. Now, are you talking expanded universe before Disney like
Made it
scrapped all
perfect?
of it, and Disney, or do you mean Disney's new expanded universe with like Clone Wars, Rebels, like the new books, the new
Starcorn.
comics? Yes, Starcorn, the limited series. So kind of curious what you have to say on that one. So we were talking about video games real quick. I mean, we still got to do news at some point. We're talking about video games releases.
We got a full. Oh my gosh, we've only got an hour.
Yeah, we've already blown.
What have we been doing? The fractured butthole was next week, wasn't it?
Fractured butthole.
I'm sorry, the
yes.
fractured butthole.
Yes,
is next week. That's I'll be picking that up. Jeez.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins. That might be one I'm interested in, but again, I just
Super Mario Odyssey was the one that was after that.
Okay, I might be doing the Super Mario Odyssey.
That's the one.
Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. Those are all the October releases. November releases, just buy wallet.
Will I
Sonic
pick
Forces?
up the new Call of Duty? That's the question, Duty.
Duty.
There's your Marvel superheroes too.
Yep, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. I'm really excited.
The best part is Horizon Zero Dawn is getting an expansion.
Luckily, the copy I have is our buddy Miles,
Smart.
and I get to give it back to him.
I think we'll both probably be picking up the old Battlefront 2.
Yep. Are you going to go full on?
Done, right? The open beta's right now.
The open beta is right now, yes. I've played it. It's fun. They've brought back the classes and the troops. They have a lot more heroes. They basically tripled everything. There's like a little video John Boyega does before.
Oh, so they made a full, complete video game.
Yeah, they basically made Battlefront the way it should have been made the first time around.
Intelligent.
All right, well, we've lowered the bar really good
We really
right
have.
now with the Battlefront. Now we're going to bring you back to where you should have been the first time we played it.
That's my biggest problem with Battlefront.
Elder Scrolls.
It's a fun game, but it was
VR?
more fun going back to it. Wow,
Doom
December's
VR?
really.
Yeah, December's kind of weak. But yeah, the two big ones I'm going to get.
Doom. We'll never get rid of Doom.
Nah, never.
I assume that's the newer
VR
one.
Looks like VFR.
I assume it's well, I mean that's virtual reality, right?
Right, that's what I'm assuming. So yeah,
I guess
why
in
is
the
LA
F
Noir coming back
stands
out?
for inappropriate.
Yes.
LA Noir was coming out with a gimmick.
Okay.
It's a gimmick.
Gotcha.
Either it's VR or it was some sort of gimmick. I forgot what it is though.
Well, anyways, Lego Super Mario Heroes 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Those are the two
I-
games.
okay,
picking
so
up.
I famously got there's the famous story of me getting accidentally getting diagnosed as having Asperger's.
Okay.
It's completely untrue. But sidebar to that, LA Noir came out. I could not read anybody's faces. So I had to completely stop playing the game. I couldn't read anybody. Like I was like, they seem just fine. They seem fine. They're not nervous. Nope, they're lying. It's like, how does people know? And then I would read watch tutorials and it would show they would be. I couldn't read a
Probably
face.
the same way. Don't worry.
Oh boy.
So, all right. So, do you want to get some news? We got a lot of news to cover.
We got news. We got
so
news. We
Let's,
got to do it.
Well, let's see here. I'm going to do this right now.
Which
So
sucks because I saw that Alex totally wrote
What
a
did he say?
paragraph.
What do you say, real quick? Okay, Alex, we're going to get into this topic another night. This is
You're gonna have to save it.
Yeah, save it.
This is a full-on
discussion.
discussion.
This is going to take a lot more of a discussion. And you know what? I am saving it right now just so I can come back to it later.
And I'll go ahead and give you a preview of my answer. Superman has a cape.
Let's just, you know what? Let's just do this.
Ooh, read the supplement or on the toilet.
Is she on the toilet? I feel like she's in a chair.
She doesn't think she's on the toilet.
Look, there's the couch next to
The
her.
online supplement.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
The best was I had no idea why you wanted me to pull that clip.
I thought it was funny.
I just didn't notice the publimeter.
Put the metro.
Oh, that's right. There's a no.
All right.
Sarah's
so,
new. Okay, Sarah. So what do you have in the?
Yes. Oh. We should. I mean, she could probably do news. We just have
Sarah,
to wait for her
do
to
news
type it,
from,
and then be like,
type the news in.
So, okay. So I don't have an image for this one because this one broke right before the show started. Actually, when we were dealing with technical issues, Disney is canceling their Jack and the Beanstalk adaptation called Gigantic. Yes. So, Matt, do you want to discuss?
I'll tell you why I'm disappointed about this because I wanted them to use the Pixie song.
What Pixie song?
Gigantic, obviously. Which is
Who are you
about,
disappointed in?
Disney.
It's your Disney alarm.
You got a little Mickey in there.
Yeah. That's your Disney alarm. Anytime you start talking Disney. I had a Donald Duck losing his crap in there, but I was like, nah, we'll just leave it like this for now.
I like Donald Duck losing his crap.
So
Oh, she still wrote it.
yeah, she did write the news.
This is
So-
still Sarah's news, technically. We're just reading it.
Yes.
Gigantic was supposed to be a Jack and the Beanstalk tale, but reversed.
Okay.
So, like a little man finding a giant woman.
Okay.
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
I can dig it.
Oh yeah, Jack the Giant Slayer was a terrible. Alex brings up a great point. Jack the Giant Slayer was terrible. So it's not like they've had great luck bringing Jack and the Beanstalk stories to life lately. But I feel like that was basically Bryan Singer's fault. Yeah, so it was supposed to be, but reversed, and I feel like Disney was putting a lot into this. I even heard rumors that they were even thinking about like how they were going to do the meet and greet. So they were going to do like a meet and greet with like a giant woman head. Like, you know, you go in to meet her and she's like, you know, you're in like a tower or something.
Oh, okay.
And so you're seeing her head like in the window and stuff.
Would it
Which
would
would
it
be
actually
really
be like, how would they do that? Would it be someone in a, like, would it just be like,
Screens.
oh,
Probably screens.
that's disappointing. I was kind of hoping it would
You
be
say
like,
that, but then like Turtle Talk has been really cool.
what's Turtle Talk?
You go in, you talk to Crush from Finding Nemo.
See,
And I'm telling you, the last time I went, I did a ride that I'd never done before because I don't think it was there. The Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which uses screens. One of the best experiences.
Really?
It is such a fun show. And what they do is they have comedians backstage, and they've got technology where, you know, they can move their mouth and tell jokes and stuff. So they've got these cameras everywhere,
Okay.
so they can see the audience. So the monsters come out on screen. Like they're on stage at a comedy club,
yeah.
and they do crowd work, and it was great.
Okay.
And
I could do that.
It's so
See,
much
I was
fun.
thinking that, but the animatronic Mickey head that like actually moves and everything
thing
that we
is
talked about.
nuts. That thing's nuts. I haven't watched them. Oh yeah, see, Sarah went to
Sarah,
see the
I have
the
not
Black
seen
Floor
it.
too. And I always would pass it by, and I was gonna pass it by this time.
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like, oh, what am I going to do? And because
In a screen.
well, the
Yeah.
kid at one point, kids can can text in jokes, and I was like, is that what this is going to be? They're just going to read stupid like
Yeah.
5-year-old jokes. But no, they like do material, and it is hilarious.
Okay, I can
It
dig
is
it.
such a fun attraction.
All right. So Disney cancels Gigantic.
Yeah.
It's
You know what though?
They got some other new
I
mystery
feel
project
like that's
coming
a
out.
Pixar move. I feel like in the
Maybe.
past, Disney will just put out a piece of garbage and be okay with it. But I think that's the power
Maybe.
of John Lasseter being in such a powerful position over both Pixar and
well, it got pushed.
and Disney.
It was supposed to be 2018. They got pushed it back to
Which is
2020.
So,
But now
they
they're
knew there were
saying there's
problems.
still some other project in the works for that 2020 date. They're still holding on to the date. It's just not
That's interesting.
Gigantic. So,
wonder what it's gonna be.
all right. So let's see here. The next
Frozen
one.
4,
Oh God.
really cold.
Really?
That's her subtitle.
Okay. So the next one, we have Creed 2. The sequel has gotten its director, and it is literally Sylvester Stallone. It's Rocky Balboa.
I'm out. I didn't know that's what it was. I saw it like breaking.
Yeah, no,
And
that's why I got the
been
image of
dealing
them up
with other
there.
things and couldn't really
So-
read it.
Thoughts? Did you ever see the Rocky Balboa he did in 2006? Was that okay?
Did you see Rocky 5? Yeah.
No high hopes for this one.
Well, you know what though? That's one of those movies that it came out and a lot of people were like, "This is great. This is really great. You've got to go see it." And I finally got
Creed.
went to-
Creed, that is.
Creed, the first Creed.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This seems like just a."
Tom White was saying the same thing today on Facebook.
It seems like an okay kind of just melodrama.
Yeah.
I thought that the Creed parts where he wasn't fighting, I didn't think it was that interesting. I thought it was kind of a run of the mill kind of story. But the in-ring stuff, I was really disappointed that they didn't show more of that because it was a very, very innovative way that they used very dynamic, fluid camera movements. Almost like GoPro. I can't even explain it, but it really felt like you were in there boxing. And I'm surprised that one, nobody's ever ripped it off, and two, that they didn't use more scenes. I feel like there was only maybe one or two real big boxing scenes even in the movie. So
Oh, interesting.
know.
Well, yeah,
I
you
wasn't a
you and
huge
Tom
fan.
you and Tom White were discussing today.
I
It
thought
was
it
a
was
really good
okay,
discussion on the
but just-
Facebook page, which is facebook.com /Popped Show.
Popped Show.
For those of you listening in podcast world right now, well, will be, have been. What tense do I
Will
use?
be.
What tense do I use for podcast now?
It's all
my
tense.
tense is my. All right. Okay. The next one, Blade Runner 2049 won the box office, but despite good reviews and lots of buzz, the totals were pretty meh. So are we getting tired of sequels, reboots? Are we getting burnout on this stuff?
From what I can tell, that movie is it seems pretty.
Yeah. Dean wrote up a review on popshow.com.
It seems like everybody who's liked it has been like, it's so pretty.
I think they were having a hard time getting people out to
How's
it.
the story?
Well, obviously they were having a hard time getting people out to it because I saw a post for getting a voucher through one of the local marketing folks around here, and I got $24 to go see Blade Runner. I just got to get around to seeing it now.
Oh, the crap I left in the car. I meant to bring it in.
What's that?
Got something today.
What's that?
My movie pass. So I will be going to see it.
Okay.
Would have liked to have gone seen it today. Maybe I need it. Well, I guess the day wasn't
You know what I got?
happen.
You know what I got today? Just because it came out on DVD today.
What's that?
Baby Driver.
Like it's right over there.
Yeah, like when this show ends, I'm shutting down everything. I'm showering, getting to bed, and throwing on Baby
Watch
Driver.
Baby Driver.
Yep.
I may pop it. I
So-
may give it a little rent.
Yeah. Alex
watch
is
it
saying Blade Runner is the long.
Yeah, that damn
runtime's
thing
turning
is like
people
7
off.
hours. Right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's like 3 and 3/4. 2 and 3/4.
So, but he said the movie itself is excellent. So he recommends it. It's
I should go see it. I'm gonna go see it.
um,
Maybe I'll watch first Blade Runner first.
That's kind of what I wanted to do, but at this point, by the time I saw it once, like 10 years ago, and I was.
I fell asleep to it a couple of times.
I saw it when I was in my 20s, and I was like, "Yeah, it's all right. I'm good." But my
Yeah,
taste have evolved since my 20s. So,
True.
Matt
Mine haven't. Mine had devolved. I had much better taste at 20.
thinks
When I was 20, it was during the old
60s?
independent movie boom.
Oh,
Now
I
it's
thought you
just
were gonna
like-
say the civil rights movement.
Now I'm just like, whatever. Just put a superhero in it, and I'll go see it.
Yeah,
I just
we're pretty-
stopped.
That's not true because
Stopped
we've
having
gone to see
taste.
like Baby Driver and stuff
That's
like
true.
there have been other
I
movies
guess.
we've been out there to see that haven't been this superhero stuff. Matt Henson is saying he's getting lazy, or Hollywood's getting lazy, excuse me, with the constant nostalgia remakes, and they
I don't
are.
think they're getting lazy.
I think
They always go into these cycles.
I think they're just getting scared. They're afraid to produce original content.
Well, what I was kind of touching on, I think what's happening is the movies are going to, or the actual theaters are going to be a place for event films, and I think we just have to realize that. And the only place where I've been going into movies and being surprised, I know a lot of people were surprised with Baby Driver.
Yeah,
I wasn't, because that was my most anticipated movie, just because I'm such an Edgar Wright fanboy.
Right.
So I was like, I would have been disappointed if it was anything if it was anything less. But I think that for the most part, we're gonna get to a point where some of these smaller movies and these movies where people are gonna have more of a connection with.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess some people can have connection to blockbusters. I don't, but I like going in and having that communal experience of watching a blockbuster, and I think that that's what's going to happen with the movies, with theaters, and we're going to get these kind of smaller, more personal films that'll be out on these different channels like Netflix and Hulu. And
I hope so,
whatnot.
because I forgot to mention it last week, and you and I talked about it, but I forgot to mention it on the show last week.
Right.
What happened to Monday? Loved it.
I saw somebody, Tom White. I saw Tom White had written that this was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about it, but he saw the trailer. I didn't even watch the trailer. I heard that and I saw it on Netflix, so I popped it on. Surprised.
Yeah.
I was completely surprised because that movie was hardcore and it had such a great high concept. The plot was
the plot was good.
interesting.
It was good and
the
simple. They
concept
didn't
was
try to
interesting,
convolute or anything like
and they
that.
didn't.
And they kept it simple, and like the movie
And it
was going along.
brutal. It
Oh
was
yeah,
a brutal
and that's
movie.
the thing. And I was watching this movie, and it was going along, and okay, the premise of the movie basically is children are outlawed. You can only have one, and that's it. All the other children go into cryogenesis or whatever, and but this one family has 7 kids, and they're all septuplets. They all look alike. They all look like Naomi Rapace.
Yeah.
Rapace?
Yeah, who
Rapace?
played the
Elizabeth Shaw in Alien.
I was gonna say she played
before
the
Covenant. What was the one before Covenant?
She was the star of the Norwegian girl who caught on fire. The girl with the dragon tattoo. Not the American remake.
Okay,
but
I was gonna say
the Norwegian one.
Okay,
The original versions.
okay,
Which
and
were really good.
I've heard good things about them. So basically, she's pulling the Back to the Future 2 and playing like 7 versions of herself. Or the Eddie Murphy. I guess Back to the Future 2 is too old of a reference. I guess
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, she's Eddie Murphying herself.
Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy.
And
put him in a fat suit.
So, yeah, basically. No fat suit here. She plays herself 7 different characters, and they've all got their own personalities.
She was great.
It was an
She
amazing
was really great
casting.
in that
She did
movie.
really well. But okay, so the movie's going along. Oh yeah, so they have
Willem
7,
Dafoe.
and each of the 7 sisters. William Dafoe, their grandfather, keeps him alive and kind of hides him out, and they all have names based on the day of the week. And based on whatever day of the week it is, that person with that name gets to go out, but they've all got to be the same
a
exact
persona,
person as when they go out.
They created a persona that they all play.
Yeah, and it's really good, and shit starts to kind of go sideways. And,
All of it was interesting.
but
When
like it was
things
going
went
along.
it really.
That's
the fact that they
when it
would-
went sideways, it really
I was
went
like,
sideways.
I can't believe that they're doing what they're doing. Like when they started kind of disappearing,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe that they're doing this.
Right.
And then ultimately I was like, oh, this is because you start to realize that,
There was one
can't even
point
talk about
where,
it.
yeah, I know,
Just
I don't
go
want to
watch
give
it.
it
I don't
away.
wanna
Like
give
there was
anything
one
away.
point where
It was
one of
such
them
a
was
good
running away, and it was just boom, and I was like, oh snap! Like I really like movie tropes had gotten me like expecting that
would
they
be
were gonna
safe.
like
They would all be safe. They're not all safe.
No. Anyways, so what happened to Monday? Go watch it. It's
Just
worth
go
it.
watch it. Yeah, don't listen to anything we just said.
Yeah, forget what we just said. Alex said Blade Runner isn't a nostalgia film like Jurassic World and Force Awakens were, and I guess in this, well, here we go. It's not about winking at the audience and tying back to the first one as much. It's just an actual film that takes itself seriously, which I think Ridley Scott's really trying to do. Anyways, with
Were there T-Rexes? No T-Rexes.
no T-Rexes. That's going to be in the sequel Jurassic World 2050.
Sounds good. I'm in.
So, simply exists in the Blade. Yeah, okay. So it simply exists in the Blade Runner universe in a genuine way. Alex is saying, which I can respect that.
Which is how they should honestly approach all of these.
But
won't.
he did the same thing with Alien Prometheus or Alien Covenant and Prometheus, and they just kind of bombed. I didn't like them.
Whatever.
What?
Alien Covenant was. I couldn't stand.
I know they.
He broke rules. He just faked
I couldn't.
it. Like,
I was able to tolerate Covenant more than Prometheus.
I watching Covenant. I was like, I don't think he watched Alien.
My theory on those two movies, he's trying to make something completely new. Like he wanted to tell the
Just
story.
make something completely new.
I don't think he could have gotten the funding. I don't think anyone would have been either the
It's
funding.
Ridley Scott.
Hear me out. I don't think he could have gotten the funding. Maybe say he got the funding, but he couldn't get anybody interested in it.
They shouldn't have been interested in it.
Unless they tied it to Alien somehow, and he figured, okay, people will see it if I say it's tied to Alien.
There's something about those bad CGI space jockeys I couldn't stand.
Well, they were just horrible. But he came out
They all
early.
look
He
like
came out
Snoke.
this week. I've heard him. I don't know if it was him, but I heard someone say that the next Alien movie, whatever you want to call them, it'll deal more with AI than actual Alien.
Done.
So
I'm out.
people are gonna be dropping out real
How
quick.
about everybody just go watch Aliens and then just remake Aliens?
No, don't even remake it.
No,
Let's
just put it back
watch
out in theater and
Yeah,
just call it
yeah.
Aliens 2018.
So we mentioned what happened to Monday a few minutes ago. So that'll tie into this
Yep.
because we're professional segues.
Yep, that's right. Seg.
Netflix is raising its prices just a tiny bit, like $1, depending on the plan you're on, $1 or $2 per month. So not much, but they're in a lot of debt, so they need the money.
Okay, you know what? I'm good.
What? Yeah, I'm okay with it. As if,
As long as it's still a value for the service,
oh yeah,
and I feel like that service
And I think it has been.
has become such an important part of my streaming, like of my entertainment, that I'm good. Like even like we were just saying, like some of the movies that they just drop out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
or what happened to Monday. There was another smaller movie that they put out a couple of months ago with that one girl, and things happened.
yeah. See, even Sarah's agreeing with it. So worth
Like
it.
I'm tired of this world, and I'm not even going to take it anymore. I loved it. It was quirky, and it was what I like about indies. I
What I like
I
about
love
you?
that. No. Elijah Wood was in it.
Okay.
It was basically a girl gets her her grandmother's
well, then.
silver stolen, so she basically loses it and gets a lot of people hurt. Gerald's Game I haven't watched yet, but
Oh yeah, I've heard good things
I'm
about that
definitely
one.
gonna watch Gerald's Game.
There's one coming out Friday with Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller that's apparently getting a lot of rave
It's a
reviews,
Noah
too.
Baumbach. It's the new Noah Baumbach that I'm totally can't wait for.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's like I said, it seems like all of the good, like what would be quote unquote indies, that back in the 90s, they're all being released onto Netflix. All these smaller films,
Yeah.
all these smaller character driven films that I love.
Mhm.
I love a good movie that's just about people and characters and talking.
Most people
that's
enjoy
what I
those same
love.
things too.
No, but I don't care about like advancing a plot or having a plot. Put two people in front of each other and have them converse.
Moon.
Loved it.
Figured
Loved
you
it.
might.
I love a good movie with strong characters,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't go anywhere. Maybe I'm just an idiot.
All right.
People, characters talking before sunrise. Sarah's totally right. Or
Did you ever
the spiritual sequel to Before Sunrise. Everybody wants some
How'd you even make that connection?
because it's the same. It's all Richard Linklater.
Which
Richard
Everybody Wants
Linklater.
Some was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it. It was just
I told you,
just
you
some
just
fun
gotta get
characters,
the.
just-
But if you look at it, it really is a spiritual sequel. It just
Yeah.
wasn't. It was a continuation of the themes of. Sorry, we all just we get a new we get a new message sometimes. We're like, well, got to read this message.
well, that's
Let's
the
stop
whole-
talking. Just do this. Read this message.
See, I thought you were gonna say Before Sunrise was like dusk.
Alex says the Before series is the greatest trilogy ever. Man, I wouldn't disagree. I love it. I love just people talking.
Did you ever see
I wrote a movie about people talking.
What's Issues?
Issues is not people talking. It
Did you ever
was at
see
first.
Robot and Frank?
No, is it people talking?
Yeah. Well, there's a robot in there too, but they're all
Even
talking.
better.
They're all talking.
Her loved it. Just talking to Siri.
yes.
I do the same thing now.
Ex Machina.
Oh God, Ex Machina is good. That wasn't
I
just
loved
people
Ex
talking
Machina.
now. I love Ex Machina.
Ex Machina was great.
Hot
A
robot.
lot of droids. Well,
Hot
one droid, but still.
Sarah says it's a great series, but so much talking. I had to be in the mood for
You
it.
do. I mean, I think there are certain movies you just got to be
Maybe.
in the mood for, but it was. I enjoyed it. Did I not? Yeah. Here you go.
Well, like what you said, the Adam Sandler with Noah Baumbach.
Yeah.
His movies are all about dysfunctional families,
Mhm.
dysfunctional upper middle class families. I just love it. I
Yeah.
eat that stuff up.
Well, let's see. Next on the news here, moving right along. Well, I'm gonna keep this moving. What?
We just triggered Sarah.
What do we do?
I brought up her.
Yeah. She's got a. She's.
Stick to your guns, Sarah.
Yep. Dumb.
You hate Scarlett Johansson. Hate her and her also. You only don't hate her and her because you don't see her.
It's true. It's a very good reason not to.
I couldn't fall in love with my phone unless it had boobs.
Next news topic. I kind of jumped over the segue here. I guess we could have used this as the other segue. We were talking Blade Runner earlier, but speaking of Philip K. Dick, he is getting a series on Amazon, and we're kind of wondering: are androids the new zombies?
Sarah brings up a good point.
What's that?
I never thought about that. Are androids the next zombies? We've already got humans over on AMC. We've got Westworld.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh no, you're talking androids. I was thinking like just the trends of we went from vampires, we went to
I didn't even realize it.
Zombies.
But now that
and
she
now
says
it's
it,
androids.
yeah, we're getting a lot of androids lately. A lot of robots.
And it's
But this is good. I think this is good for us because it's finally going to set up a return to my favorite Android series, Small Wonder.
God, that's a flashback.
Well, she's a small wonder, Keith.
Yeah, I had a crush on her as a kid too.
Who didn't?
Is
The
she
robot
alive? Is she even
kid
alive
telling-
anymore?
She is. That was the only thing I think she ever did.
Yeah, but I
I think
mean,
I
like,
looked
is
her
she,
up a
is she
few years
actually,
ago when
is
I was
she
being
single?
creepy on the internet.
But I mean, like, is she physically alive? Has she?
Small Wonder.
Whatever. Oh, no. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I typed in Little Wonder.
Little Wonder has blowers apparently.
Small Wonder. I remember that. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, she's creepy bald.
She's just creepy. What a weird. Like number one,
What?
I feel suspect. Like all of this is
It went
suspect.
Did it really go?
Father Ted Lawson creates a robot, Vicky. Why did he create a little girl robot, and then why did he make her like the maid? She was like the Rosie. He made a little girl
since '91,
and then put her into like indentured servitude.
Well, that's interesting because there's a new thing too. Keanu Reeves has a new movie where he loses his family in a car accident, creates androids
Of his family,
yeah, and puts
It's
their
called
memories in them.
Bill and Ted 3.
I forgot what I.
It's
oh,
a
no,
weird one.
Bill
It's
and
a weird
Bill and
sequel.
Ted's Age of Ultron.
I'd watch it.
That's what I think. It was on Facebook. It was on our Facebook page a few days ago. But yeah, I think androids are still. I think androids are going to be. Sorry, again, new comments pop up when we kind of get distracted. I think the.
I was like, you take it. I gotta read this.
No, I think
Read
androids
an
are going
entire
to be.
article.
I think androids are kind of the ongoing thing now, and I'm okay with that because zombies were fun. I mean, they but
apparently
I think
there was like only really room for The Walking Dead because Fear the Walking Dead
still going on.
Still
They're gonna
going on.
They're
Sure,
having
but is
they're having a
anybody watching it?
crossover. They're having a crossover.
I hate that. I don't know why.
We had all the vampire shows before that. So what's after androids?
What were the vampire shows?
Vampire Diaries.
And
Hold on.
Twilight?
Supernat. That was a movie.
Supernatural wasn't vampires.
I know, but it was kind of. Hold on. Vampire shows. Here we go. I know there were other ones. It just seemed like there were vampire shows. That's all we need to do. Vampire Diaries and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The original True Blood. That was the other one I was trying to think of.
True Blood. Yeah,
That's the one I was trying to think of. We can't forget the highly acclaimed
Blade
Blade
series.
series.
Stupid me forgot about Buffy.
We don't
only
really put
like
Buffy
my
in a,
favorite.
We don't really put Buffy in the vampire. I mean, yes, we get yes.
Buffy's
It's
so much more.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. There's more to it than just vampires.
You gotta fast track that.
I know.
I'll watch it with you guys. If you guys start
Well,
watching it, I'll
actually,
match you episode for episode.
Can I download? I've been watching BoJack actually. So that's the one. That's going back to the Netflix thing a little bit. We are all over
Did
the
it
place
finally
tonight.
hook you?
It hasn't hooked me yet, but I'm
You
going
at
to
6?
watch the first episode, the first season. Excuse me. I've gotten like 4 or 5 episodes in, so I'm getting there.
Wait till you get to 6.
But
There's a big
but with the Netflix thing, if they keep adding shows that I can just download and have on my iPad, I'll pay whatever they need me to pay. Take my money.
Buffy.
So
Maybe you'll actually get to Buffy soon.
here you go. Matthew gets.
I'm actually rewatching Buffy now.
Yeah, I'll
Put
get
it
to
on
it.
at night.
I'll get out to it eventually. 30 Rock's my like half brain show.
I just watched The Office again.
Parks and Rec, 30 Rock.
The Office, I'll put on it at any time.
Yeah.
I hate to say this because I have such an affection for the British Office because I watched that first and I loved it and Ricky Gervais is just so good. That character is so good. And but I don't know, man. I think the American Office might eclipse it.
That it really came into its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of like David Brent and like Tim and like there's a much bigger it's much more of an ensemble than the British Office is.
Gotcha. Well, I'll get to that show eventually too, because that was the one thing. That was another show I watched a few episodes, and I was like, "Why do people love this show?" And I'm like,
British Office?
No, the American Office. But the American
grows
Office
on
was
you.
like apparently like Parks and Rec. The first season was kind of meh, and then the second season it really found its footing and took off.
The first episode, the pilot episode, damn near. I mean, it pretty much is just a remake of the first episode of the British Office.
That's I think I've heard
Or
that.
one of them. Yeah, I mean, like, so I was like watching. I was like, why is this existing?
Yeah.
But it started to grow on you, and it's really funny at times.
Okay.
In fact, all the time. You know what? I'm gonna say all the time.
Sarah loves The Office. I just haven't
love
gotten, Just haven't gotten to it.
I love it. It's worth
Matt
a
brings
watch.
up a thing going back to the androids because
Uh-huh.
we are incredibly ADHD tonight.
It's
This is
what
what happens when
happens.
Sarah's not here. The interesting
Try
thing.
to follow along.
Yeah, sorry guys. Matt says the interesting thing about the androids is the morality associated with actions taken against them, since they reflect humanity so well. And seeing as we are in a morally ambiguous time these days, as even as humans, the morals get kind of ambiguous these days. So maybe that's why we're so fascinated with androids.
I'm sitting here thinking about Small Wonder, and would I?
Really?
No. Would I have a little girl maid? What'd you think?
I took it. I
Don't take
went,
it like that.
No, I was.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Would you have a robot maid?
I mean, I have a human maid.
Good point.
I mean, why wouldn't I have a robot maid?
Good point.
I want to check the programming.
I don't
out,
know.
make sure
Like,
it couldn't kill me.
I'm worried. Like, I think I would like to have one because it seems, but like, as soon as you have something that looks like a human and is like you own, like you would own it.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't feel right. Like it just
That's
doesn't
why. That's
feel
why
right.
I really loved Ex Machina because they really got. I mean, in that short little film, it really got into that.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right owning one.
Well, we'll see where the androids go. Androids, the hottest thing right now.
What you were talking about is definitely not okay.
No, definitely not. It's what happens. All right, real quick. Let's see. Oh, we talked. Yeah, Philip K. Dick and his new show, Electric Dreams. If you guys haven't watched the trailer, it's on our Facebook page, facebook.com/pop show.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch. It looks like it's a good competition to Black Mirror, actually. Okay.
Oh, I lied. I'm not gonna watch it. I had too much stuff to watch.
Yeah, seriously. Well, speaking of stuff to watch, the latest episode had this bit of news, and the only reason we're adding it in the news is so I can do this. Catherine Tate
I think it's a good
is
reason.
playing Magica Dispel in the new DuckTales
I mean,
series.
She was in the last 2 seasons of The Office.
Yeah, she's great. I've met her in person.
Love her. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird. What were the circumstances?
When I proposed to Sarah, she was there.
Name dropping.
David Tennant was there. John
Name
Barrymore.
drop.
We were just hanging out. We're like, oh yeah, hey, I needed to do this thing today.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so
I
Catherine
love those
Tate
pictures.
is rejoining David Tennant, who is playing Scrooge McDuck beautifully on this show. And she will play one of his nemesis.
I love the
Magic of
show.
Dispel.
This is my favorite.
It's so good.
This is my favorite new show.
The most recent episode has her. She has more of a speaking role in this one, so it's actually
I
really
have
good.
to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. I might actually just buy the season pass so I can watch it whenever the heck I want.
Woo.
So, and then last but not least, and I might just switch over here to a new screen here because I can do that now.
Sure.
No, if I could do it more smoothly, boom.
Oh,
No. Yes,
Keith, you're back.
I am back. A new little trailer dropped last night for a little movie called Star Wars.
Did I didn't see this.
If you haven't, you need to because it blew my mind.
I gotta tell you,
it was great.
When did trailers get so popular? Like that was
I don't
all
know.
I saw today on my Facebook feed.
Really?
Was just new trailer drops for Star Wars. Oh my god.
That was so good.
OMG.
So good.
You won't even believe number 2. That one was not.
Yeah, that was, what is that, BuzzFeed?
That was not Star Wars related.
Okay.
But it's true. I didn't believe it.
No, as long as you didn't believe it. So, new trailer dropped. Matt, what'd you think?
Yeah, I'll watch this movie. It's weird. Like it's almost like I'm fine with a friggin' Porg.
Alec, hold on.
You're
For
just being
hold
a
on,
dude.
Hold on. For those playing the home game podcast version, Alex just commented saying that Porg's going to single-handedly ruin that movie, which we were going to get to. I was going to ask Matt what
I'm not, because you know what? I have no problem with Ewoks.
Okay.
You know
so
what?
Better than
Hey, you gotta have something for the kids and the
true.
merchandise.
Yeah.
We're not going into this movie like I have no aspersions that I'm gonna go into this movie and I'm gonna be like, man, this blew my mind. I'm gonna get a tub of popcorn. I'm gonna eat the tub of popcorn. I'm gonna drink a soda and be like, man, space battles. Look at those laser swords. Woo, 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 bang, bang,
It does
pow,
look like
pow.
it does look like
And
we're
then
gonna
I'm
get
gonna
some
go
more.
home.
Looks like we're gonna get some more actual in space battles in this one. So I kind of got some.
He just hates porgs. I love this. I love that he hates the pork
They're
so
like
much.
furry penguins.
I'll be honest.
Punchable fish.
I'll be honest.
There we go. There's Sarah.
Okay, I want to be the cool guy that's not like, oh, these porgs are ridiculous. These porgs are they're ridiculous looking, and putting them next to Chewie. Now apparently the porg is like just co-pilot now.
Yeah, that I didn't quite understand.
Why
But-
is the porg?
Well, let's see if I can pull this photo up for those watching here live. But yeah,
I'm hoping that it's not gonna be. I'm hoping it's gonna be like an Ewok situation where it wasn't that bad. I'm hoping that they're just not in the.
see, everyone loves these
at the
porgs,
dumb-
man.
Look at the dumb questions.
Oh yeah, no,
though.
people are just all over.
Are porgs the new? Who is Chewbacca's porg friend? Who cares?
I honestly think here. Let me pull up. Hold on. Do I have second screen set up? Dang it! I don't need to.
You know what? If they're just there a couple of times, they're like, I'm the Porg, and then that's
There we
it. I'm
go.
fine.
There
But
we
if
go,
this
Porgs.
Porg is if it's flying the damn Millennium Falcon, I'm out.
Is
I'm
that your
upset.
limit right there?
That's my limit.
Okay.
I can take a lot of cute. I mean, look at it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine. Sarah's right. Sarah says they look like Bopham clowns and a puffin and like one of those mudfish things that just scream. I'm gonna be fine with this unless that Porg does something dumb. Like I'm fine. I get it. They're already selling a ton of these things.
They
love
are. They're
the
So
kids
more
need
lovable
something
than-
to cuddle, whatever.
okay.
But if that thing is flying, if it's flying the Millennium Falcon and it's like integral to the story, like the Porg saves them at any point, I'm gonna get up and walk.
That's what the
I will
Ewoks did.
walk.
The Ewoks saved them at the end.
Yeah, but nope. They had their little song. That's fine. I'm fine with
Okay,
the
so
Ewoks.
the Porgs could be controlling the Millennium Falcon with voice commands and that screeching penguin whale is what you're telling me.
That's what they look like. They look like a penguin whale.
They look like furry penguins. That's what they look like to me. So
I don't even want to talk.
okay, see,
I tried.
Matt's-
I tried very hard to take the opinion of, oh, don't be like, don't be that geek.
I'm
But yeah, there's part of me that's like, I hate this. I want to kick a Porg.
maybe the Porg is the mascot. Maybe. Hey, all right. Let's break this
Maybe
down.
it's a
Hold
Dobby
on.
situation.
It might be. Everyone loved Dobby, and Dobby wasn't unbearable for the most part.
He wasn't.
But that was part of the story. I mean, that was his character was meant to be unbearable.
Wasn't he like given clothes?
Yeah, he
and
was
that's
given a
how you-
sock, and that's how you freed him.
And then he got hit by a car.
Probably.
He died.
Well, he went out. He went outside. He was like, "Oh, sweet, I can cross the road on my own now." And then,
it,
boom, done.
And then it turned out that there was the war of Hogwarts.
But
and
but okay,
got turned into a sock.
in the Porg's defense, let's think about this. Chewie, he's lost his.
I can't look at it.
Change it back.
I can't look at it, man. It's
All
looking
right.
at me.
There, is that
Get out
better?
of my face, Porg.
Still got it up.
No,
on
put it back up. I
Okay.
want everybody watching.
You tell
to
me that
feel
after
that.
Jeez.
I want everybody watching to feel the pain of the Porg.
Okay, let's pull this Porg here.
The more I look at it, the more angry I'm getting at it.
Well, okay,
Look
but
at
hold
it.
on. Stop for a second.
Why is Chewie not bothered? Why is Chewie not eating the head off of
Chill
that?
your anger for 1 second.
What if Chewie's eating them? What if he's just snacking on them?
It might be a possibility.
I'd be okay with that.
It's an off scene. It's a deleted scene. We haven't gotten to it yet. But think about this. All right. Han Solo was dead. Chewie has lost his.
What? Spoiler.
I don't have that. They haven't seen it now. They're
Sarah says
lost.
furry penguins with guinea pig faces.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, Chewie has lost his best friend. We won't say who that is, but he's lost his best friend, and he's lonely. Maybe these things. It does have pop figure on Sarah.
Sarah just brought up a really interesting point. Did they design this thing so it looks like the perfect pop tie-in?
Maybe, but he needs. Oh, mud skippers. That's what you guys were referring to. Hold on. Can I play that without getting pinged by YouTube, you think?
Yeah, I think screaming isn't going to get pinged by YouTube.
So, yeah, the mud. Yeah.
I hope that's what a Porg sounds like.
No, we already heard what the Porg sounds like.
Maybe I didn't watch it enough.
All right, we're
I'm
getting
trying
rid
to
of that. Back
block
to the
this
Porg. There we
Porg out
go.
of my mind.
But Chewie's lonely. He needs companionship.
Okay.
Maybe the Porg isn't necessarily flying it. Maybe the Porg is Chewie's new teddy
You
bear.
know what? I'm under control now. I'm going to
Good?
go back to thinking
Good.
that the Porg is fine.
I
Porg
hope
will
so.
be fine.
It'll be fine. We might not get a lot of it
Because
that's
the
what-
rest of it looks awesome.
it does, and that's what I really loved about this trailer is the fact that we saw a lot, but we didn't see anything that gave it away. Similar to the Force Awakens trailer, like there's no plot points discussed. There was just a lot of cool badass. Yes, we're saying that Chewie gets lonely at night.
Gets
all right,
lonely at night. He needs to cuddle with a Porg.
Yes, that's what we're saying, Matthew. But I completely lost my train of thought. We saw a lot of stuff that it looked really awesome. We saw space battles, we saw fighting, we saw shots of our favorite characters. But I still have no idea what's
My
going
new
on.
favorite character, the Porg.
No, it's not. Don't lie.
Put him in a Jedi robe.
This is a show where Matt lies all the time.
I hope that Porg gets a lightsaber.
Little Jedi porgs.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you know it's already
One of
out
the
there.
little-
Hold on, let's see here. Jedi porg. Let's see what we can find. You know someone's done fan art of this crap already.
Oh,
You watch. There we go. Wired. Wired has an article. Why the internet is freaking out over porgs. Sorry, I read that wrong. I thought they were going to say, why is the internet? There's a porg plush.
there's a
okay.
Porg
I'm just
men's
trying to-
tie.
I'm just trying to find. Yeah, look
There
at
it
the
is.
really good.
Is that what it looks like? It looks like an owl.
Oh, there we go. Yep, there's the Porg Jedi. So here, let me drop this over to the second screen here real quick. Oh, my computer's not liking this. So there we go. Oops. So second screen. There we go. Sorry. And here is our Porg Jedis because you knew it was going to happen. But yeah, we saw some lightsaber battles. I think they cut it.
Oh, I cut his arm off.
What? Well, it's Star Wars. Bound to lose his arm at some point, especially if it's a
You'll be
Jedi.
dead.
So we saw a lot of stuff that looked really awesome, but nothing really tied a story together. A little bit. We got a little bit as far as what we'll be seeing in. Hold on, let's see here. I'm gonna bring back her. Sorry, trying to make sure I can still see everybody's chats. So we got a lot of like things are really kind of nebulous, getting a little dark, getting a little light with the Jedi and Sith thing, and I think they cut it so it's misleading. I think like because they saw
Yeah,
some
but
scenes cut
I have a
from-
feeling it's going to be one of the. It's going to if you look at the two stories or the two trailers back to back. I think it's going to be something obviously with Luke sending her in to take out
sending Rey in to take
Yeah.
out Snoke already.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, Kylo Ren.
I don't know. I think there's some plot, just shenanigans.
Well, of course there's plot because it
There's
comes from the
shenanigans.
movie, but
There's shenanigans
of
going
course
on.
there is. But I mean, as far as piecing it together, I couldn't piece something together from
What
that.
if they do
I could
turn?
say-
What if they do turn her?
It's quite possible.
That would be the ultimate F you to fans. It's like you think you know where this is going.
You know,
There
I'm okay
go.
with that though. I'm
To
okay
dark
if they
side.
turn. I'm okay if they make her and Kylo Ren like some cousin Sith Lord team or something.
They did. They also made it look like he
He's
kills
kinda-
Leia.
But see, here's the problem I have with that because of what we know as far as the plans for Episode 9. Because we're in this time period now where we
with
can.
the reshoots.
I didn't hear anything about reshoots because we're in a time of where we know things like years in advance, and we're getting all this information. Leia was going to have a bigger role in Episode 9. Before Carrie
Sure.
Fisher died, unfortunately. So
That doesn't mean they didn't kill her.
maybe they were able to take some footage that they had and maybe shot it so they could, kill her off in this one. I don't know, but that's the thing. They set it up
Well, they
that
can
way.
bring her
but
back for reshoots, right?
I don't have it too soon on here.
We did too soon.
Inappropriate.
That's all I've got.
Well, it's both. It's both too soon and inappropriate. Let's see.
They're still going- Sarah's still going
you
on
guys saying he's lonely at night. That's right.
Yes. Let's see here.
Sarah says that she doesn't know how Chewie could get any sleep with all that screaming.
Oh.
Seriously though, it was adorable seeing Baby Groot with his front seat on the ship and a seatbelt. They're just doing that. That's a good point.
That is a good point, and we don't know how many. This could be the only Porg that
Why
we
am I
see.
okay with Baby Groot
Because there's
dancing
only one.
around?
Because there's only one.
Because I know there's a lot more Porgs where
Well,
that
that's
came from.
Possible that we would have more Porgs.
Hopefully, unless Chewie's eating them. I hope he's eating them like
Sushi.
Jabba eating those weird frog things.
That was great. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it. We got some. I'm actually. You know what? I'm actually glad to see that we're gonna get some more Phasma.
She's my favorite.
I haven't seen much
I
of her.
love Phasma.
She's actually got an ongoing series now with Star Wars comics, like a little mini series they've been doing on her.
I just love. I loved. I mean, the small amount of screen time that she got. I loved Phasma.
I didn't.
I
Get
like
I
the
couldn't
weird-
get, I couldn't get a
weirder
good feel
characters.
because she didn't have enough screen time for me to really get an opinion. I have no
I
opinion
love
on
the
her either
design.
way.
I love that. I love that.
So
the
do
design
I.
Of that.
The look is great, but I have
Um,
no idea what her character's like.
She's at get your button ready
What?
at Disney Studios. At Disney Studios, they have the March of the First Order, and
Okay.
it's led by Phasma.
Makes
So
sense.
like so every I think hour, they play like this big thing, like she's landing and
Yeah.
stuff, and then she comes out with just a battalion of First Order troops, and it is awesome looking.
Okay. Well, yeah. From something from that makes sense. That sounds like it'd be awesome. See, Matt agrees with me. They kind of did her a disservice, and I don't know if it was just editing. You know, a bunch got lost on the cutting room floor, or if it was, you know, what it was exactly.
I don't think she was ever intended. I think she's got a bigger role here.
I
think
really hope so. It looks like
you
she
can only
does.
just show so many people. I mean, it's like we didn't see Luke at all either.
No, in the first
In the
Force
first
Awakens,
one, in the Force Awakens, and the Force Awakens really just it just existed, I think, to establish and to get Harrison Ford the much needed closure he needs.
He was trying to get the closure back in Return of the Jedi.
I'm telling you, as soon as I knew he was going to be back, I knew that they were going to kill him.
You think?
I knew that was the only reason he'd be so happy, is that he was getting killed. When we see him come back, I wonder if he got killed in Blade Runner. I think that's just what he's doing now. He's going in and he's getting
Indiana Jones 5. He's gonna die.
Indiana Jones 5. He'll die. He's just killing off
Working Girl 2. He's gonna die.
He's gonna die during the sex scene.
Heart attack. Gerald.
When
he's gonna pull his own Gerald's game.
He actually sees what has become of what's her name. You know, this would have
Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith.
There you go.
He actually sees Melanie Griffith's like horrible post-surgery face and dies. That joke was all types of bad.
Yeah, I could have done a little better on that one. I knew what you were going for.
Fault.
It was just, you know.
Nah, I didn't have anything. I lost the name and I couldn't stick the landing.
It happens.
It's like I got up there on the parallel bars.
Calm yourself, Iago.
I should have used that earlier when you were going off on Porgs. Why didn't I think of that?
Porgs. I can start again.
No, we're good.
Why is Porg one name off of porn? Because you know there's going to be somebody who goes there.
Well, yeah,
not
obviously
creates porn, but you know
that's
they're going to call them porns.
You went that way with it. I was thinking Pogs from high school. I was like, can we just like slam these against each other and see how many we flip over?
Alf's back in Pog form. Yeah.
So, but yeah, the scene I threw the little image up.
It's a terrible name.
It really is.
Would you be better off with them if they had a better name? Is it the Porg name that's really, really driving this home? Would it be a little better off if they had a better name like
Squawks?
Squawks. I'd
watch the Squawk Christmas special.
Huggle Buddies. If they were named Huggle Buddies, would you be better off with it?
Yeah, I'd be okay with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the store. Hey,
they could have just called them Puffin.
See if they got those Huggle Buddies.
They could have called them Puffin Pigs.
Puffin Pigs is terrible.
Like Puffin and Guinea Pigs combined. It's just Puffin Pigs.
Piggy Puffs.
Guinea fins.
I'm gonna go home and eat some Piggy Puffs.
Guinea fins.
Before I go to bed.
That sounds weird.
It's my favorite snack.
I don't know. What name would Porgs be?
Yeah.
What can we name?
What
Porgs
do you guys think?
What can we name Porgs that would
Could
actually?
You guys
make
rename a Porg to make people like it?
I'm trying to think. And then would you watch their Christmas special? Because that's really what it boils down to. The Ewok Christmas special.
They just scream the scream Christmas carols.
Oh God! Can you imagine that doing? I don't have it up anymore, do I? I was gonna go back to the Mud Skipper video. I probably can't play just that clip of the Porg screaming, can I?
You could try.
Let's see how.
I think it's too early.
Even if I play it for like 2 seconds, huh? Like all the video. Oh God! Someone's
Porg scream for 1 hour.
They have already made a 24-hour.
Well, guys, we're gonna leave you with this for the next 10 minutes.
God.
Gotta do
Hold
this.
on, let's see here. I think if I don't throw the video up, I'm okay, right?
Nah, throw it up. It's sound they match you on.
Oh well, if it's sound, I'm gonna stop that then.
No. There's nobody's gonna put a nobody's gonna stop. You're gonna be fine.
I think I've done.
So now we need to cut that out. That's gonna be a drop. Just Porg screams.
No, I'm not gonna do it now. Oh jeez, it sounds horrible.
Oh, I hope they make another Death Star so they can target that planet. No one complains. It's like a million Porgs screamed out.
Gucci Kopai is what Sarah is saying.
Gucci Kopi.
That's what Porgs are called in the Bob's Burger universe.
Gucci Kopi.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I'm okay.
I feel there might be some copyright materials in there, but you know, whatever.
Matthew says, I think TFA did a good job setting up Snoke, Hux, Phasma, but it would be nice to establish them a little more.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot more Snoke on this.
Well, we're getting him.
mean, we're gonna like see him in the
Surprised
flesh.
that's what he
of it?
looks like.
Yeah.
Like it's already been. He was in the trailer a little bit.
Yeah, and he
Because everybody was assuming that that hologram was hiding somebody else. It was going to be like a shadowy figure or Luke.
I think he's gonna be normal size
He is. He was normal size in the
trailer.
In the trailer.
Yeah, because if you look
Like,
very
just
carefully
frail
in
and
that,
terrible looking.
in that shot where Rey is like screaming and
Yeah.
like someone's got her in some sort of force hold, you can see his yellow cape at the very top of the screen, and you saw just before
got a
that it was
yellow
him.
cape?
He does have a yellow cape. Yeah, you didn't notice that?
That was he
He's got-
Sinestro?
He's got a yellow robe, and Matthew says that the pork screaming is disturbingly mesmerizing. You guys
I'm
can
gonna
just
watch it all day
You guys
tomorrow
can
at
just
work.
go to sleep with that here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull up some images of Snoke from Last Jedi trailer here, because that. Let's see, because he was wearing a yellow robe. Let's see. No, I don't want to see all the stuff from Force Awakens. Yeah. Okay. So we've got this image here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, it's maybe it's a little gold. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. Maybe
I thought it was gonna be like a bright
yeah.
yellow, like a
Nah,
lemon
it
yellow
was-
sun.
It was kind of a muted yellow, all right? And then
I think that might be brown, actually.
you think?
Yeah, it may just
Because
be the way it
there was another
looks like a brown. It looks like a tweed. Looks like a nice tweed.
really.
Yeah, he's a professor. Professor.
Let's see here, and then let's go to Rey Last Jedi trailer, just so I can kind of find that image there where she's being force held, and you can kind of see. I did like some of these images though, where they were like the
Can you
rocks
go
were
for a
floating up.
second?
Yeah, what you got
See the first image right there.
right here?
You know somebody's gonna Photoshop that.
Oh, jeez, seriously, Matthew,
They don't know what I'm saying.
come on. All right, so I can't find it, but if you guys go back and watch the trailer,
What do you think about evil BB-8?
BB9 or whatever his name is,
BB-80 or whatever it is, 8C.
I don't know. I think that's the thing. I think the Porgs are just the new BB-8. Give me a good R2-D2.
BB-8's awesome. I love BB-8.
And the Porg might be just as awesome as the BB-8.
I could go to Disney Studios this time. I wasn't planning on it, but there's a BB-8 meet and greet. I gotta go get my picture with BB-8.
That thing's giant. That thing's huge. Like, I have a friend of mine who actually has a life-size BB-8
Yep.
like prop or whatever, and she put it on her bike and rode it to work one day. And
As you do.
that's
Like
one
E.T..
does. Yeah, of course.
I think it was changed by
it was
the
May the 4th.
FBI.
It was May the 4th. That's why she did it.
Why'd she buy it?
Her parents bought it for her as a joke, thinking, "Oh yeah, she'd love this," and she actually genuinely did love it because she's a giant Star Wars geek. I mean, wouldn't you want a BB-8 like just giant right in your house? Yeah.
You
Give
know
me an
what-
R2-D2 and I'll set it up right
you know
behind
what
you.
other-
Be
what
part
other-
of the set dressing here in the Popped Cave.
You know what other meet and greet they've got over there?
What's that?
Baby Groot. Got a little Baby Groot puppet to go up and get your picture with, and he's like,
Okay, so is it animatronic? Someone's just controlling it with that? Yeah, it's pretty
it's
sweet.
adorable.
I'm sure it is. All right. You know what? I think we've had enough for the day.
Have we? It's only going to get disgusting.
It
I would just like to
hasn't
say that
already?
we have not. Our dirty word count today 0.
Yeah, that's because, luckily we had Cap looking out for us.
So should I just go ahead and
No.
can I just say
No. I'll give you a coin if you don't.
I like that. I feel good about that.
Every time you
If I get 100, I get an extra life.
you do. Just like that.
Do I get to choose whose life it is?
No, not today.
Damn.
Okay.
I want it to be that Porg.
So we usually end the show saying with our pop champagne, talking about what's
Something
making
good
us feel good. What do we got going on that's good? It can be pop culture related. Doesn't have to be. Whatever's just going good. We want to end on positivity. That's the one thing
If
we
you've
try.
got
That's
a
what,
pop champagne, put it in the comments.
yeah.
Something good happening to you.
What I think as
let us
Sarah
know.
puts it. What's popping your champagne this week?
Popping your champagne. It's inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Inappropriate.
There it is. Sorry.
You want to go? You can go first.
I can go
I
first.
should always end up going first. I never have one. I do have one today.
Well, then you
obviously.
go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Should go first.
You should go first.
I feel like you should go first.
Age
this
before
time.
beauty.
So I gotta go first,
Yes.
but I feel like I should go last.
But if you have
Do
one
you not
ready,
have one?
I'm gonna think of something real quick.
Okay,
but-
well, let me
yeah, have at it.
let me stall, and then you figure out one.
Okay, well, Sarah's
And then
is
you go.
Screaming Mud Skippers.
Let's read Sarah's, and you figure out one.
So Sarah's is Screaming Mud Skippers.
Without question. She says without question.
Yes.
She
So,
is
in
all
case-
about the
in case
Screaming
you're,
Mud
Oh,
Skipper.
dang it! Or click the wrong. Web computer screwing things up. Did we lose the? Dang it! Why do I not have it here? Matt's not you, Matt. Other Matt is. You having problems there? Is saying Halloween is his.
Oh,
Yeah, we're a few weeks off from Halloween. So, what do you have a costume yet?
I haven't dressed up since the last time I dressed up. It was one of those like box Darth Vader costumes.
Okay, so it's been
it,
a while.
It was a
then.
box Darth Vader costume that was vintage to like Empire Strikes Back because that's the movie that was out.
God, you're old.
I don't think I've dressed up since.
I don't know. Empire came out in '80, so yeah, I guess 80 early. You kind of say, yeah, you'd be, yeah, all right, makes
three.
sense, yeah. All right, my pop champagne, I guess, because you're making me. Well, here, let's get
Yeah.
Sarah's. Hold on. So this was
sometimes I have a reason, man.
there we go. Hold on, here's Sarah's.
Oh, wait for it.
This is Sarah's right here.
A mud skipper. A fish that spends most of its life
Oh,
out
there we go.
the sea.
Hold on. This is
Wait
what we
for it.
need to- no,
Wait
those are-
for it. I just like how it says
Most
that.
fish.
If I didn't have like a
We were getting entirely too much enjoyment out of this. All right, we're done. We're done. That's it. All right, Sarah's was Mud Skipper screaming. There we go. We got it just for her.
So what's your pop
Um,
champagne?
My pop champagne. I don't know, just life in general, man. Everything's going great.
Things going good?
Yeah. Show's doing well. We got, Matt and Alex all joining in and stuff. And
Halloween
Halloween's coming up.
to a week and a
Screaming Mud
half.
Skippers,
In a week and a half, we'll be down in Florida.
Yeah. Is that
Halloween Horror
is that
Nights.
yours? Horror Nights?
Horror Nights.
Horror Nights.
It was almost canceled. It was very nearly canceled
Glad it wasn't.
on Sunday, but
Yes.
things are looking good.
Sarah says iTunes. We're going to be up on iTunes soon.
That's a good one.
You might be listening to this on iTunes. By the time we get approval, this episode might be up. So I'm gonna try to get some more episodes out this week for the podcast. So, yeah, I don't know. I just life. I got Baby Driver. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go. I'm
He's
gonna
got
go
a
home and
baby.
watch Baby Driver. I'm going to watch Baby
I thought
Driver
you said
after the
baby
show.
drama.
No,
I didn't know what that like. You pooped your
hell,
pants.
I mean,
Need to be changed.
whatever, it happens.
Because I'm gonna have to do it. Sarah's out.
I can change myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I got Baby Driver and the podcast.
Nice.
I'm getting back
Soon
into
on
my
iTunes.
I'm getting back to my love of sound editing. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. I'm cutting more drops in this little drop machine here. I can go through all this stuff. I can
We'll do it live. It's a trap.
and
Good day, sir.
it's not one I played for you yet. And then of course the show favorite. It's just
Although Disney Alarm's reaching up on it. My pop champagne is my mom's gonna be okay.
good.
Tentatively,
Yes.
my mom just had a heart attack, and I've been dealing with that over the last 3 days, and it's been tough. But now she just got home from the hospital. We just delivered her back home today, and she during the show.
Is she not watching the show?
During the show, she sent me this message. Well, she wanted to make sure everything was okay with something. But then she says she's bored out of her mind, even though it's only been a half a day, and asked how late I will be tonight.
Tell her she should watch the show.
I think she wants me to go like hang out with her all night. She's taking some time off from work. Like we're telling her you need to take like a month off because her job is very, 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 very stressful. And she has not made it half a day. So I think I'm going to have to make sure that my mom is occupied at all times so that she doesn't
Quality family
she
time.
doesn't hurt herself because she can't even make it. Like I left there like 3 hours ago,
Yeah.
4 hours ago, and already she's done with it. She won't just sit down.
She should
lay
watch the
down.
show. She should watch the show,
She should watch the show.
and that'll keep her entertained for at least 2 hours.
She'd
Or
have
she'll
to
just
figure out
roll
how to
her
work.
eyes.
She'd have to figure out how to work the iPad properly.
She's watched the show before.
by accident. I feel
Fair enough.
She
I feel like that's how most
she
people
doesn't
find the
understand
show.
what's happening.
Fair enough. So, all right. Well, that is us for today, folks.
That's it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get this to play properly.
Yep. Don't forget that you can check us out on iTunes soon, but you can definitely check us out Podbean. Links are over at this page, facebook.com/Pop Show. Obviously, go check us out, Pop Show, at Twitter, and then find the link on our page to go over to the old YouTube. And please, if you find it in your heart, to give us a subscription. And when iTunes comes out, we'll let you guys know, and we'll really love it if you can go over and give us a little review, write us a review, give us a little 5 stars if you think we deserve it, and I think we all deserve it.
I think we do.
All of us, because this isn't just our show.
Yeah.
This is your show. This is Popped. We'll see you next week.
Later, guys.